ZipRecruiter. You can post your job today and talk to interested qualified candidates tomorrow. Simply select a time, and Zip Intro finds and schedules qualified candidates for you. Then you can choose who you'd like to connect with and meet and greet people through back-to-back video calls starting as soon as the next day. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/sports. That's ZipRecruiter.com/sports.
ESPN 710 Los Angeles Sports.
And it is the biggest show on the radio. Mason and Ireland is on for your Monday afternoon.
Ireland, best show on the radio.
Here we go, Monday, June 9th, with the Hall of Famers Mason and Ireland. Back from the weekend, we got NBA Finals, we got Dodgers, we maybe even got Angels. Who knows? And, of course, fun and frivolity will ensue. But there's been a lot going on in LA the last few days and over the weekend and today as well. So we're here to be your escape. Not to ignore the real world, but try to make you smile during all of it. So let's do it.
Mason and Ireland on the radio, live on 710 ESPN. Mason and Ireland on the radio, live on 710 ESPN.
Yeah. The biggest show on the radio, Mason and Ireland, your Monday afternoon right now.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And by the way, if you want to ignore the real world, go right ahead.
Yeah. Do it.
We're right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Down here.
We're in the middle
and
of it.
happy to provide a distraction.
On. So if you spell this next word correctly,
is this me or is this
is
not
the
me?
Champion of the historic.
Well, who is it?
I don't know.
We don't know.
All right.
That one wasn't me. If they're me, I'll own it. But that one was not. I did not press the wrong button.
Oh, that was me.
That was you, Laura?
Yeah.
We got a little taste of the spelling bee. Well, it's Michelob Ultra Reaction Monday here, reacting to NBA Finals game number 2. And game number 3 will be on 710 and the all-new ESPN LA app. Thanks to Michelob Ultra, a refreshing and balanced flavor. Only 2.6 carbs, 95 calories. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Please enjoy responsibly.
So other than drinking too much on Friday, what'd you do all weekend?
Let's see. Drank too much on Friday, felt really sick even into Saturday. And then I woke up and I did manage to go to the gym, which was good. I managed to see John Wick Ballerina, which was great. Ana de Armas is terrific. Great fighter. Anybody else? Brian, you a John Wick person? No.
I actually have never seen any of them.
Oh, my God. It's such great stuff. And
in those John Wick movies, Brian, somebody gets killed about every 15 seconds.
I've heard it's very limited talking, a lot of action.
Yeah, very limited dialogue. And then, John, on Saturday, something I watched that I did not expect to necessarily be blown away by, but is that George Clooney Good Night and Good Luck that they had on CNN.
It's worth watching?
Oh, my God. It's such a great show.
Oh, okay,
He's
good.
Great.
I taped it, and I taped the pre and the post.
Yeah, it's all great. It's all really good. So I did that. And then, yesterday, later on, did nothing. Watched some basketball a little late in the day. Watched some Dodgers early in the day. Dodgers managed to salvage one from that series in St. Louis. John, tomorrow is our 710 ESPN All-Star Softball Draft.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be
What time
here.
is the draft?
It is going to be during crosstalk tomorrow. During crosstalk.
I will be quiet because last year I drafted your team and it was terrible. You seem to think Ron Mitchell is God's gift to softball.
Well, Ron Mitchell, I don't even know if he's on the list this year. He may not even be eligible for the game. But I am torn on who to take with the first overall pick.
Do you have the first overall pick?
Oh, it's a good question.
Yeah. Where's Bergman?
Do I or no? No. Parker's like, yeah. Who's at the top of my draft board, I guess is the correct question.
And I can, anybody who's like directly or indirectly related to the station.
Yep.
I would take one of the former athletes. I would take Kirk Morrison. I would take DeMarco. I would take DeAndre. Somebody that is athletic.
I'm trying to remember. How was DeAndre's game?
He actually did better than he thought because he felt like he wasn't going to do well, and he didn't do that at all.
So here's the top of my draft board. Mario Ruiz, who is excellent.
MVP.
Jorge Briones, who hits a home run every year.
Previous
in this
MVP,
game.
I believe.
And Brian Cohen.
Nice.
That's right, baby.
Who
Come on.
can play.
All right.
Are you rolling your eyes at Brian Cohen?
No, I'm rolling your eyes at that you notice I mentioned 3 black guys. He mentioned 3 white guys. My team would destroy your
Well, no,
Wait,
Jorge
Mario and
technically
Jorge are not
is
white.
not white, and Mario is not white either.
Right, but you
So I
got DeMarco and Kirk were professional
Okay.
athletes.
They did not
Kirk went
perform.
DeAndre played in college.
Kirk
They did
went
not
0
perform.
Kirk
Yeah.
went 0 for last year. He's swinging exclusively for home runs and did not. I think he went 0 for 3.
And I went 3 for 3.
And
so there you
Brian
go.
went 3
and I
for
hit a
3.
home run last year, too,
No,
so watch out.
I've got now 3 years of
And John's
experience
draft
of watching
sucked,
these
so-
guys play.
Yeah, well, I
And,
mean, your team lost when I drafted, so you draft.
yeah, I think I'm going to draft the winner this year.
Okay.
And I am going to once again fill the role of DH manager. DH manager
Smart.
is my
Smart.
official job. My days in the field are done. Hey, thank you very much to Paul Kim from Park West Bicycle Club Casino, who sent us all cool gift bags. I
Yes,
guess the
thank you.
Cappy Blackjack tournament was a big success on Friday night. I heard
Do
that,
we know who won?
I don't know who won, but I heard there were like a couple of hundred people there to play.
Yeah, that was
Which is
awesome.
fantastic. Bergman played. He said Cappy finished second at their table. It was complicated rules and stuff, but apparently a great night at Park West Bicycle Club Casino. All right, let me see. Last night is sort of what I expected from Game 1. I sort of expected OKC to roll in Game 1. I almost think that OKC is going to roll to the next 3 wins.
I'm with you. I think this is very reminiscent of
The Philly-Lakers series.
yeah, when
Lakers
the
won
first,
Game 1 in Philly.
the first of the 3 Kobe Shaq titles.
Mm-hmm.
When Philadelphia kind of shocked the world in Game 1, won in overtime, and then the Lakers destroyed them for 4 straight games. I have a bad feeling this is that because they've locked Halliburton up really for 2 games. What Halliburton did in the first game was just have a tremendous finish.
Yep.
But other than that, they kind of locked him up.
Yeah.
And last night he never got going. And then did you see when he walked off the podium last night? Noticeably limping. Something's going on there. So I said
OKC
in 6. You said 5. If I could redo my thing, I would probably
You'd
take
go
5.
5. Yeah.
But Game 3, this one on Wednesday, is what it'll tell us because Indiana has to win Game 3.
Right. Yeah,
You know,
they absolutely do. Because I think you sent the number to the team that wins Game 3 after a 1-1 start goes on to win 80% of the time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that game is everything for them. All right, coming up next, an NBA coaching legend recognized at the NBA Finals yesterday.
One of our favorite guys.
Gives us an excuse to play his greatest quote. We will do that coming up next. If you haven't been to Cosm yet, what are you waiting for? This is the ultimate immersive fan experience. The Dome at Cosm, this massive wraparound display with reserved booth-style seatings, and the Cosm Hall features wall-to-wall screens. Get this. How does this sound? Cosm can transport you to the 125th U.S. Open. This is golf like you've never seen before, experienced before. You can feel the power of each drive, see up close how each ball will break on the green. If you're a golfer, no better way to soak in the U.S. Open than seeing it at Cosm. Cosm, like nothing you've ever experienced before. For details on the U.S. Open and all the events coming up, including the NBA Finals, go to Cosm.com. That's COSM.com. Cosm.com. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
A fun way to drive home is with Sedano and Cap.
Maybe it's those cute glasses. Like the Cuban Clark Kent is what you are right now.
Okay.
Goodness, you're cute. You are adorable.
Sedano and Cap.
Weekdays at 3 p.m.
on 710 ESPN.
Your next Subaru is waiting for you at Subaru of Glendale. Check this out. Lease a new 2025 Subaru Crosstrek Sport CVT for just $299 a month plus tax for 36 months. One at this payment. VIN S3703-172. MSRP $31,935.
Waba Grill.
What's our secret? It's our sauce.
Our sauces are more flavorful for you, from sweet and spicy to fiery hot. Waba Grill. It's unexpected. It's delicious. It's saucy. It's for you. Why do we grill to order at Waba Grill?
It's just better for you.
Download the Waba Rewards app or order online at wabagrill.com. Waba Grill. It's for you.
Angeles venue for your business meetings, weddings, and big events. Enjoy a beautiful staycation or family holiday at their Hilltop property. Book your stay at LA's #1 work and play resort today at PacificPalmsResort.com.
Teams are battling for the championship, and there's no better place to get in on the intensity than ESPN Bet. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with the promo code JOEQ, that's JOEQ, to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low. It just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
And it is Mason and Ireland, your Monday afternoon. The Waba Grill lunch hour is on. Why do they grill the order at Waba Grill? Because it's just better for you. Their Asian-inspired menu has high-quality proteins and fresh steamed vegetables. Right now, get a value bowl combo for only $8.99 for a limited time. Waba Grill, it's for you. Just like Mason and Ireland are for you as the Waba Grill lunch hour continues on 710.
John, this is obviously a Bee Gees song. It was released on this day in
1979.
79, peak Bee Gees. Did you ever watch that Bee Gees documentary that they got?
No,
think
but I
it's
heard
on
it's good.
Max. It's really good.
Yeah.
I had no idea the history of that band. I think there's one
Australian dudes.
Yeah,
right?
I think there's one living Bee Gee now. I think it's Maurice. The rest of the Bee Gees, I think, have passed on.
Well,
Hail
Andy
fellow
died
well
young.
met.
He wasn't one of the original Bee Gees. He was
No.
a solo artist, but he was the one that was the best, most successful solo
Solo
artist. And
artist,
he died
yeah.
first.
He did. He
I think
did.
in his 30s.
Yeah, really, really young. All right, so, John, I remember a glorious moment when I walked out of these studios. And when I walked downstairs, I saw NBA head coach Don Nelson smoking a cigarette outside of Starbucks.
And
I thought, coolest thing.
unapologetically.
Yeah, he's like, hell with it. I'm just going to smoke it.
So yesterday, Don Nelson was given the Chuck Daly Lifetime Achievement Award by Rick Carlisle, who is the head of the NBA Coaches Association. And the fact that Nelly is still celebrated after the last time we saw him in public is fantastic. Because the last time we saw him in public, the Warriors brought him back to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of the We Believe Warriors, the 8 seed that knocked out the number 1 seed. And that was the year Dirk Nowitzki was MVP and Dallas was the number 1 seed. And Don Nelson, who had been fired by the Mavs, took over the Warriors and knocked them out. And then Don said this at the press conference when he came back to Golden State. This was a few years ago.
Can each of you talk briefly about what you've been doing after basketball? Coach, I know you live in Hawaii, right? So
Yeah, I've been smoking some pot, actually.
It's legal now.
Yeah, but I never smoked when I played or coached, so it's new to me. But anyway, I'm doing that, and I'm having a pretty good time. It's more legal now than it's ever been, and so I'm enjoying that.
It is more legal now than it's ever been.
Maybe the most honest press conference of all time.
What have you been doing, Don? Been smoking a lot of pot.
Yeah, it's fantastic. All right. Hey, can you indulge me for a minute speaking of on this day in history?
Yeah.
All right. So in 1987.
Yep.
So what's that? 13 plus 28, 38 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. Everybody does this.
Okay. As you know, if you're a longtime listener to the show, my mentor was Chick Hearn, the longtime Laker announcer. And think about this, Mace. Chick died in 2002. So if you're 23 years old, you weren't even alive when Chick was alive. And if you're like 26 or 27, you probably never, ever heard Chick. I will say this, and this is redundant to anyone who's my age or older. Chick is the greatest basketball announcer who ever lived. And that's taking nothing away from Marv Albert, nothing away from Mike Breen. Chick was just an actual one-man entertainment show.
Yep.
And this is another example of that. So on this day in 1987, Lakers lead the NBA Finals over the Celtics 2-1. Listen to Chick call this famous Magic Johnson hook shot. First of all, this is a phrase I stole from you. The guy is word perfect.
Yeah.
Never stumbles even a second. And he almost sounds like he's giving a presentation to a college class, but instead he was talking to 15 million people back in Los Angeles, describing one of the great shots in Laker history. Listen to this.
Cooper takes the ball out of bounds, baseline. Kareem and Worthy to the left. Worthy comes to the right. To the left goes Magic. He's got it. He didn't shoot it. 5 seconds left. Magic down the middle, just what I thought. A hook shot at 12. Good! 2 seconds left. The Lakers take the lead on Magic Johnson's running sky hook. Woo-wee. 2 seconds now. 107-106. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the most exciting games we've ever had the privilege of broadcasting. We hope that we've done justice to it for you.
Wow.
How good is that
That's
call?
a great call.
And by the way, did you notice the 4 players he mentioned? Just play the beginning again.
Okay.
Cooper takes the ball out of bounds, baseline. Kareem and Worthy to the left. Worthy comes to the right. To the left goes Magic. He's got it. He didn't shoot it. 5 seconds left. Magic down the middle, just what I thought. A hook shot at 12.
Pretty good team.
All 4 names he mentioned were Hall of Famers.
Yep.
All being guarded by Hall of Famers. Larry Bird, Robert Parrish. The 2 guys he shoots the hook shot over are McHale and Parrish.
Yeah.
Bird was worried about Worthy, so he was over in the corner, and Dennis Johnson was the one that was chasing Magic around the corner. I mean, that was the golden age of NBA basketball. And people who lived in Los Angeles, I've given this speech before, were treated to 4 Hall of Fame announcers all at the same time in the 80s. Dick Enberg did the Angels. Chick did the Lakers. Bob Miller did the Kings. And, of course, Vin Scully did the Dodgers. So everybody who was listening to the radio in Los Angeles got to hear one of those guys describe all those great moments. So this was 87.
Yep.
That hook shot put the Lakers up 3-1. They win the title. They roll into 88. They win the title again in 88. Then the Dodgers win it in 88. All of it described by Vin Scully and Chick Hearn.
Yep.
And by the way, Kings traded for Wayne Gretzky in 88.
Yeah, right.
So it was just an absolute golden age of Los Angeles sports. And that call, I worship at the Church of Chick. Bill McDonald and I talk about all the time how lucky we are to get to sit in Chick's chair. And make no mistake, it will always be Chick's chair.
Yeah.
I don't care if we get the greatest young announcer in the history of the world when I'm dead and Billy's dead. Chick will never be topped.
Right.
And so I use that as an excuse to play Chick calls whenever possible, so thank you for indulging me.
What's interesting is it's not that long ago, right?
38 years ago.
38, but it sounds longer ago.
Because he has that classic theater voice.
And also the scratchiness.
Cooper takes the ball out of bounds, baseline.
It feels like an old-timey, because it's got a scratchiness to it. It's got a classic announcer. I mean, sounds great.
If you really want to nerd out, when I dug that clip up today, I went onto YouTube and I typed in Chick Hearn, Magic Johnson, hook shot, and that came up. What else will come up is 7 or 8 minutes of the raw feed of Chick and Stu calling the game, where you can hear everything. You can hear what they were saying to Sue Stratton in the truck, where you can hear all of it. And so if you're like me and you worship at the Church of Chick Hearn, and you just type in Chick Hearn to a YouTube search, you'll be there. Last time I did it, I was there for 2 hours.
Right.
He's indescribably great. And that is a great example.
It is.
That's a time capsule call. Something you put in a time capsule and open 100 years from now.
You're pretty word perfect.
Yeah, but I got it from him.
Yeah.
I grew up, you know this story. When I was a kid, shocking, I didn't sleep. And my parents were worried because they had a teenager, or at that time it was probably 11 or 12, who stayed up later than they did.
Yeah.
So I would watch Johnny Carson and Tom Snyder. And, and at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'd fall asleep for 3 hours. I'd get up and go to school. So my parents started making rules. They're like, you're going into your bedroom at 10 o'clock. We're turning all the lights off. We're turning off all the noise. And you're going to learn how to sleep.
Right.
Like any good parent would do.
Work well done, apparently.
And I took a transistor radio. Look it up, kids. It's about the size of a cell phone.
Yep.
Brian, do you know what a transistor radio is?
I do, yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm in the business.
Yeah.
You're in the business.
Most people your age don't. And I would turn the volume up loud enough that I'd put it under my pillow. I'd put my head on the pillow. Loud enough that I could hear Chick, but my mom couldn't hear that I was listening to the radio.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would fall asleep every night listening to Chick call games. And so when I start doing games now, I'll hear myself saying stuff like yo-yoing up and down, put him in the popcorn machine, ooh-wee, like he just did.
Yeah.
And it's all channeling Chick.
Yeah.
And Bill McDonald would tell you the same thing. Billy and I both grew up listening to Chick. And that's why I encourage, especially younger Laker fans, anybody under the age of 30, go type Chick Hearn, Hearn, into a YouTube search and be blown away by what the greatest basketball announcer of all time sounds like. He's just the best.
Isn't it amazing where we live in a world where people 30 and under don't know who Chick Hearn is?
Yeah, and of course at the time...
Time sure flies.
At the time when we were all, growing up listening to him, we thought he would go on forever.
Yeah,
Same with Vin and all those guys.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's spin the wheel of questions. It's Laura's wheel today. Actually, it's always Laura's wheel, right? Is that
Could
the
be
way this
somebody
works?
else.
When she's here.
That's a dumbass question.
Well, we will find out what Laura's question is coming up next. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
All right. If you're hiring, you got to use ZipRecruiter. Write this website down. ZipRecruiter.com/LA. Ian Siegel, the guy who invented ZipRecruiter, I saw Ian yesterday, puts it this way. We don't leave anything to chance. They're not messing around at ZipRecruiter. They have an algorithm. They send the most qualified people for your roles to you immediately, right away. How quick? 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within 1 day. So what are you waiting for? Go to that website, ZipRecruiter.com/LA. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/LA. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
So you want to play in the 710 Listener Game on All-Star Friday Night, Friday, July 11th in West Covina? Of course, the Listener Game made possible by our friends, the law offices of Joseph S. Normand. Here's what you got to do. You got to come to Island Boy on Wednesday in West Covina to sign up in person.
How do we grill to order at Waba Grill?
It's just better for you.
Download the Waba Rewards app or order online at wabagrill.com. Waba Grill, it's for you.
Law offices of Joseph S. Normand, they will fight tirelessly to get you the max compensation you deserve. Joe and his team understand the emotional and financial toll that an injury can take on you and your life. Call 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand have helped thousands of people like you recover millions of dollars in settlements and verdicts. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. Your recovery is their priority.
The biggest event of the summer is coming to Honda Center. Saturday, June 28th. Most Valuable Promotions presents global boxing star Jake Paul on his path to becoming world champion. Taking on Mexico's former world champion, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com. In the co-main event, Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez defends his world titles against Cuba's knockout artist, Yuniel Dorticos. Former boxing and UFC champ Holly Holm returns live from the Honda Center on Saturday, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Purple Wave Auction remains the trusted leader in online equipment auctions. What makes the difference is you. You are part of our growing global community that continues to trust Purple Wave with the equipment that builds and feeds America. This trust placed in us by our community, from construction to ag producers and fleet drivers, brings great equipment opportunities to their next owners. Join the Purple Wave community today. purplewave.com.
It's time. Time for the pro to get everything for the entire job, all from one partner. To get access to over 3 million products, including many products you won't find in our stores. It's time to get delivery on your schedule or next day on over 50,000 products. And time to get dedicated support on the job site or in our stores. From ordering to planning, we've got you. One partner, any job, all in. Ask about all we can now do at the Pro Desk. The Home Depot Pro, it's about time.
And it is the biggest show on the radio, Mason and Ireland, here each weekday. You know what it's time for? What is this? It's time for Wheel of Questions. Producer Brian Cohen, are you ready with that wheel? Hit it, Jack.
That's a dumbass question.
I might be. I might be. We don't know. All right, guys. So I was actually not here on Friday. I went, did some personal
You were
things.
missed.
No, I wasn't.
Yes, you were.
Funches did great.
No, Funch did great, but you were always missed.
Well, thank you. So I went over to my mom's, and my nieces and nephews are out of school. They are on vacation or whatever, summer vacation. My little niece, who is 3 years old, loves to grab her phone. So my mom's phone got lost in the process because she had it. We couldn't find it. So she's freaking out. And then by the time she finds it, it's locked because she kept trying to get in it. So my question to you guys is, how would you handle if your phone would be locked? Obviously, it gets locked for like 10 minutes, but if it would be locked for like 20...
When you say locked, I can't get into it even though I have my face and my code?
Your mom couldn't get into her own phone?
So when you type in your code, because the baby doesn't recognize a face, so it gives you the code. And then if you do it too many times, it'll lock your phone.
Oh, so she kept doing it wrong?
Yes, but not my mom, the baby. The baby
so
had
a
the phone.
baby had the phone.
My niece
All
had
right,
the
so
phone.
what's the solution to this problem?
So it takes like 10 minutes, right? Like for
Okay.
you to like chill, you don't have a phone, it's locked, and then it'll allow you to redo.
Did she need to do anything on her phone, or did she just need her phone?
Well, I'm addicted to my phone.
There's nothing
No,
urgent.
she just
She's
wants
like,
her
I
phone.
got to get to that TikTok
But
post.
my thing is, my mom's actually weirdly on TikTok. I'm like, Mom, please. But anyway, that's
My
a whole
mom
other
is
thing.
too. It's a
a
weird
whole,
thing,
yeah,
yeah.
it's a whole other thing. But my thing is,
My mom doesn't even know what TikTok is.
my mom is all over the TikTok.
yeah,
now.
and the Facebook, according to her.
and no, my mom loves the Facebook.
Yeah, she gets all her recipes. But the thing here is, let's pretend that it wasn't 10 minutes. It was 24 hours. So you're locked out of everything. Your computer, your phone. What would you do? Because I feel like our phones are so essential to what we do.
What I would do is celebrate that I don't have to put up with any of my friends for 24 hours.
You're so antisocial.
Yeah, well, no, in this
No,
case,
John's not antisocial.
I have too many friends. I mean, I want to cut back on the amount of people I talk to.
I agree.
But you don't think that would be a whole day? Like Mace used to do this all the time. He'd go zero dark Mason.
Yeah.
He would just get rid of his computer and get rid of his phone. I wish everybody would
By
do
the way,
it.
and
I think if everybody did it one day a year, we'd all be happier.
And even now, I've got a cutoff time. My cutoff time is 7 p.m. I don't look at my phone or computer after 7 p.m. That's it. I'm done. Unplug it, throw it, get rid of it. I'm not even going to open it.
So, Laura, in France, they shut down their email and text servers at the end of the business day. So you can't send emails or text to people at work until 8 o'clock the next
it's actually
morning.
a criminal offense to send an email
Oh,
to
is it
an
now?
employee. I swear to God.
Oh, really?
It is.
Oh, I thought you were...
No, it's a criminal. I don't
You
think
were
anybody's
trolling.
done a hard time. But it is a criminal offense to reach out to your employees after hours because they're supposed to have their free hours. Right now, Brian, does that seem reasonable to you, a criminal offense?
I think that should be reasonable. We should adopt that here. I kind of like that. Yeah,
If
come
I
on
hear
now.
from
not mad at
Birdman
that.
at 7 o'clock tonight,
Oh, no, come on now.
criminal offense.
Well, because even like when I guess because of what we do, it would be hard because even though I was off on Friday, I was still getting emails. I was still getting text messages.
Right.
And
It's
I'm
hard
like,
to get away from it.
And I'm like, bro, I'm off.
Yep.
But you also have to answer. So, being locked out of your phone or computer is hard.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
Let's go.
let's go.
Big series starts today.
Dodgers, Padres, Nick Pivetta versus Dustin May. The Dodgers have a one-game lead over San Diego, one-game lead over San Francisco as they start a stretch where they go Padres, Giants, and Padres again. Padres, Dodgers playing for the first time in 2025. Hard to believe it took all the way till June 9th for them to play for the first time.
And you and I have a mythical money bet.
Oh, yeah.
You say the Dodgers will be in first place in
I
the
do.
National League West at the end of this month. I think these two series with the pitching woes that the Dodgers have.
Oh, woes.
No, Tony Gonsolin,
Woes.
add him
I
to the
know.
list.
By the way, Tony Gonsolin, too, Dave Roberts indicated might be more serious.
And so I think that's 17 pitchers now who have hit the injured list. I think the Dodgers will be in second, even third place by the end of the month. I think when they get their pitching back, when they get Blake Snell back, when they get Tyler Glasnow back, when they get some of these guys, Emmett Sheehan, Gonsolin, they'll go right back to the top. I think they're going to win the division, but I think by the end of this month, today is June 9th.
Yep.
By July 1, they're going to be in second or third place.
Oh, my God. Brian, what do you think of John's doom and gloom for the Dodgers?
I still think the Dodgers, when all said and done, will still be in first. I think I think they'll take the overall with 7 games against the Padres. I think they'll come out ahead of that.
Yeah. Take 4-7.
Right.
I'm okay with that.
Who's
Extend
going
the
to pitch in these 7 games?
Well, I mean, Dustin May tonight looks great. I mean, he's been very, very solid.
I don't know if I'd use the word great.
Tomorrow, bullpen game, but you know what?
He's been serviceable.
Bullpen game is what they won with last year during the postseason. The big game was a bullpen game. So tomorrow, I'm guessing maybe Ben Kasperius gets the opener, then Wednesday is Justin Robleski, the mighty Robleski.
Nice.
All right, let me ask you guys something. Clayton Kershaw struck out 7 Cardinals yesterday. Looked really good.
Yep.
We are all in agreement that he will not be on the playoff roster. Is there a possibility they might need him? I mean, if these injuries, unless some of these injuries, like Glasnow, you can't count on.
Well, Glasnow, though, he
didn't pitch all last postseason.
He's going to be back. And Snell is going to be back.
I believe
Sasaki
you about
is
Snell.
throwing now.
I believe you about Sasaki, but we don't know if he's a major league pitcher yet. He might be a year away.
I think he's, he's definitely a work in progress. The thing about Kershaw is yesterday, John, 7 strikeouts, so he's now 17 away from 3,000 strikeouts.
And how stupid are the Cardinals?
In what respect?
You hear what they did?
Oh, yeah, they showed the video?
Yeah, Kershaw goes out on the mound, and they play the video
from
of when
2014
he gave up the Matt Adams 3-run homer in the playoffs just to try and rattle him. All it did was piss him off.
Yeah, it pissed him off.
Yeah, the Padres tried this too a couple years ago with the crying face on the Jumbotron before Kershaw pitched.
Another dumb.
Didn't work, yeah.
Dumb. Don't taunt.
Actually, show something dumb.
Yeah.
Show something dumb. We'll love it.
So, John, 13 of the 21 batters Kershaw faced yesterday, first pitch strikes.
Good. Getting ahead of hitters.
His top velocity yesterday, 91.5 miles per hour, but he settled in at an average of 89. And it's proof that if Clayton Kershaw has got the curveball working, if he's got the slider working, that he's got a chance. He has to sort of – there's a famous he was an Angels pitcher named Frank Tanana, who went from being one of the most challenging, difficult, high velo pitchers of his era to one of the most clever pitching guys. And
back in those days, if you played the Angels won the pennant in 79 and again in 82.
Yeah.
And that Tanana and Nolan Ryan were their 1-2 starters, and they were complete opposites.
Yep.
Tanana threw junk balls, and Ryan threw 101 miles an hour.
Right, and I think that Kershaw's approach has been Tananized. Is that if that's a term? You know, he's painting corners. His off-speed work, as long as his off-speed pitches are hitting spots, I think he's in pretty good shape. So he can get you 5 innings. He did yesterday. Got the win yesterday. He will get to 3,000 strikeouts. He did pass Zach Greinke for 20th all-time in strikeouts in yesterday's performance. But John, you know, if you look at this Padres team, there are. So here's the thing. I do not like Manny Machado.
No, nobody likes him.
Does anybody
Johnny Hustle?
Is anybody like, I love Manny Machado? Maybe it's
I think Padre fans
I've
do.
never heard that.
I've never heard that phrase. I love Manny. No, I've never heard that. And of course, but he's batting .318 this year. He's having a really good year. He's got a 900 OPS. I mean, he's absolutely a monster. One nugget I came across. Tell me if this changes your opinion of Manny Machado at all. Apparently, he has a dog named Kobe, named after Kobe Bryant.
It's not a bad thing.
But it's so weird, right? It's so antithetical. Kobe had the Mamba mentality, and Machado has the Machado mentality.
Yeah, which is don't hustle.
Don't hustle. It's not my cup of tea. It's like the worst. I mean, it's like the opposite player than Kobe. But he's having a really, really good year. They're going to see the Padres have lined up their rotation in exactly the way they wanted to for this series in anticipation. Dodgers obviously don't have that luxury, but we're going to see Pivetta, followed by Dylan Cease, followed by Randy Vasquez, who are their 3 best pitchers in this series this week. And I want to mention that Wednesday we're doing a L.A. San Diego
Watch party.
So tricky. Watch party. LA San Diego watch party at Islands in West Covina, and everybody is invited out there. We'll be doing the show live, and we'll be keeping track of the game with you.
Who do you think Kaplan's rooting for?
Oh, that's a really good question.
That's easy.
I think he's a South guy.
Yeah, he's a Padres fan.
He lives there.
Yeah, I've seen him behind home plate at
wait,
Dodgers Padres.
Wait, who are we kidding? It's Cappy. When he's on the San Diego show, he's going to say he's rooting for the Padres. And when he's on our show, he's going to say he's rooting for the Dodgers.
Laura?
No, he will say he's rooting for the Padres.
I think he comes on as a Padres
Yeah,
fan. I think he
100%.
takes his licks, and I
He
think we'll
owns
hear
it.
from him this week.
And it has a lot to do with Rachel.
Oh, really? What does that have to do with Rachel?
She's a huge Padre fan.
Okay. I did not realize that. All right, one last thing I wanted to get to here, John, and that is on Friday. We talked about what should happen to bad owners. Bad owners
Yeah, this is
in
interesting.
professional sports, specifically in Major League Baseball, where there are teams that are literally not trying at all. And your suggestion was to come up with some sort of force them to sell the team.
If you have consecutive seasons where you don't win at least 60 games, let somebody else try. You got to sell your team. And I thought that was an original idea by me.
Yep.
Turns out it is not. Nick Castellanos, who is the Phillies outfielder, was doing like a Q&A with a young reporter, and a listener who heard us talking about this said, hey, you're not the only one who thinks this way. Here's Castellanos.
Commissioner for a day, what would you change about the game?
I would change that ownership doesn't have any severe consequences for losing for an extended period of time. You know, so like if we're in the big leagues and we don't perform well, we get demoted or cut. If their organization didn't perform well, somebody else would have an opportunity to buy it from them. You know, just keep it to where nobody can really own the game of baseball, because the game is above true ownership. But that would never happen.
Okay.
What do you think of that idea?
I'm totally okay with it. I don't know that it would necessarily pass, the muster of league.
But he puts it a good way. If a player doesn't perform, like you've been trying to run Michael Conforto out of town for 2 months. Why couldn't we run Frank McCourt out of town? We kind of did.
We kind of did, yeah. We did. I mean, nobody's been able to run Artie out of town. But here's the tricky thing.
Artie's lost 10 years in a row. 10.
Yeah.
10 consecutive losing seasons.
Here's the discouraging thing. Their payroll is $190 million.
Yeah.
He's
going to lose money this year.
Okay, but here's the thing. I think he's spending $190 million badly, but he is spending $190 million. Like, I wouldn't put him in this category with the Marlins, who are spending $67 million, or the Pirates that are spending $80 million. I mean, these are really low numbers. I think in the case of the Angels, they're spending, it's just all on the wrong stuff. Like, I don't think Artie would be a candidate for we're taking your team away. Do you think? I don't think he would.
10 losing seasons in a row.
But he's trying. $190 million. He's trying more than Colorado and Pittsburgh and Miami.
I think at the heart of my argument is he isn't any good at it.
Okay.
So let someone else try.
Okay.
A team is a public trust. Why do Angel fans get saddled with a guy who has 10 consecutive losing seasons? What did they do to deserve that?
You know what? That's a good subject for sports graffiti. Among other stuff. NBA Finals Game 2 last night was a rollover for OKC. Dodgers Padres this week. Game time a little bit later on tonight. Nick Pivetta on the mound for the Padres versus Dustin May. What does this series mean? Is this a real rivalry? All that stuff. 877-710-ESPN. 877-710-ESPN. Mesa and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Sedano and Cap.
Next at 3 p.m. after Mason and Ireland.
I don't know anything, but I just think it would make all the sense in the world for next year to be the year that is the final year.
I would like to also acknowledge that I, too, know nothing. However, I'm making a prediction. I say LeBron and Bronny and Bryce all play together for the Lakers. If that's what LeBron wants, that's what LeBron's going to get.
Waba Grill.
What's our secret? It's our sauce.
Our sauces are more flavorful for you, from sweet and spicy to fiery hot. Waba Grill, It's unexpected. It's delicious. It's saucy. It's for you.
Cap, God, that's smart. Gosh, you are so smart, man.
I don't know. I haven't slept enough today to really think about this stuff. So
then just roll with it, bro.
Yeah, sure. Whatever you say, Cap.
Thank you.
The LA Afternoon Takeover. That's Sedano and Cap.
On 710 ESPN.
Sign up for a chance to play in ESPN LA's second annual listeners game presented by the law offices of Joseph S. Normand this Wednesday, June 11th at Islands in West Covina during our LA versus SD watch party. Team Travis versus Team DeMarco, but spots are limited. Registration opens on site at Islands only. Online registration to open Thursday, June 12th. Injured? Don't sit on the sidelines. Call the law offices of Joseph S. Normand at 213-747-2000.
Thanks, Dad, for all the wisdom you've passed down to me that I promised to start using. Someday. Now your top reasons to visit Morongo.
Father's Day freebie. Dads get a sleek mechanical pencil free on Father's Day.
Number 2.
Billy Gardell, live July 12th.
And the number 1 reason.
Extreme gift giveaway. Get an HD Eternal drone when you earn 500 points on your rewards card, the 17th.
Morongo, good times.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. We are ranked number 18 in the nation and number 1 in Orange County for orthopedic and spine care by U.S. News and World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
Hey, it's John Ireland. Check out this true crime story. An IT manager came in on Monday, tried to log in, and couldn't. A ransom message popped up. All company data, customer files, bank info, everything was locked. If they didn't pay $250K in Bitcoin, it would all be wiped. Protect your business with Thrive, America's leading managed security provider. Start with a free cyber risk assessment at thrivenextgen.com/ESPN. That's thrivenextgen.com/ESPN.
It's LA versus San Diego, and we're watching the rivalry game live at Islands in West Covina. Join Mason and Ireland and Sedano and Cap shows live on Wednesday, June 11th for a live broadcast and watch party from noon to 5:30 p.m. at 139 Barranca Avenue, West Covina. We're talking baseball leading into NBA Finals coverage, along with great food, cold drinks, and ticket giveaways. RSVP at ESPNLA.com for bonus entries into our raffle. June 11th in West Covina. Islands Restaurants, fine burgers and drinks.
710 ESPN, your home for the 17-time world champion Lakers.
KSPN Los Angeles, a good karma brands radio station.
And it is 1 o'clock in the Southland on the biggest show on the radio, Mason and Ireland. And it's time for Let's Talk About It on Sports Graffiti like we do every day at this time. Sponsored by our friends at BetterHelp. Mental health is health. Visit BetterHelp.com/timeout today for 10% off your first month of therapy. BetterHelp.com/timeout. Now let's do it. Let's talk about it on Sports Graffiti on Mason and Ireland.
All right, here we go. It is Sports Graffiti time. All the lines lit. Ireland, take it away.
David, you're hitting leadoff today. David, you're on Sports Graffiti. What do you got?
Hey, guys. I really enjoyed your talk about Chick Hearn. I'm 35 years old. I was born in 1990, so I remember Chick calling Laker games up to maybe their first or second championship with Shaq and Kobe. Other than that, it's only what my dad has told me.
Yeah.
But my question for you guys is, with Aaron Rodgers with the Steelers, what do you think is a realistic ceiling for the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers this season?
It's a good question.
Good question, David, and thank you for the nice words about Chick.
9.
I always love
9 is the ceiling, and I bet they get to 9 somehow. They
so
always
weird.
get to 9.
I was just going to say that. I think they're going 9-8.
Don't you think that's so Tomlin-esque to go 9-8?
I think they're going 9-8.
Yep.
Here's Kenny. Hey, Kenny, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go ahead.
Hey, John, I am 53 weeks older than you, so I grew up with Chick, had my transistor radio underneath my pillow starting from the 69-70 season. So with the Junior Skyhook come 1987, I'm sitting in the back of my law review course. I became a lawyer, and I'm sitting in the back, and I've got my little TV on, and then I see Magic hit the junior skyhook. It was awesome.
Yeah, one
And
of the
I
great
had to
plays
keep
in
it down
Laker
there.
history, 38 years ago today. And the funny thing is, Kenny, if you watch that play, if you go down the rabbit hole and go on YouTube, all Magic had to do on that play was literally drop the ball on the ground, and Kareem was standing under the basket and would have had a dunk. But it's so much better that he made the hook shot. Yeah, so much better. Thanks, Kenny, for the call. Here's our friend Portia. Hey, Portia, what's going on?
Hey, Portia.
Hey, I just want to say Thunder and 5. Good luck to Alex Caruso. He will always be a Laker in my mind. And John Arlen, I would love to invite you to the Central Valley to my brother's barbecue pop-up shop one day.
All right, you know how to get a hold of me, Portia. Send it my way. I'll do it if I can. Here's Harold. Hey, Harold, you're on Sports Graffiti. What do you got?
Bruin report, John. UCLA baseball team is going to Omaha for the College World Series, and congratulations to the Bruins.
Way to go, Bruins.
Harold
That's
is
good
a
for you
one-man
guys.
UCLA megaphone.
We need one. We need one guy like that.
King, you're on Sports Graffiti. King, what do you got?
Hey, John, I just wanted to respond to you saying why does fans have to suffer? They don't have to suffer. They don't have to buy tickets to those games.
Right, but if it puts them in an impossible spot. Let's say you live in Orange County. I mean, you can give up. You can just stop being a baseball fan. But why should they have to sit through 10 years of losing? I mean, if Artie, I think here's what I would do. I would say if you have 2 years in a row where you don't win 60, you're out. Or if you have
10 seasons.
consecutive losing seasons, that's the golden sombrero, you're out.
Yeah. I still think if you're trying, and by that I mean spending money, I don't think they can take your team. If you're spending $60 million,
Artie would make a fortune if they forced him to sell from what he paid for the team.
100%. Yeah,
Make a fortune.
But guys like that, I don't think care about the money it's worth. They care about owning a team.
Yeah, they should care about winning. Here's Will. Hey, Will, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go ahead.
Hey, guys. Every time I hear, a lot of different shows refer to the New York media and players that don't want to go to New York because somehow the bad New York media is going to eat them up. Who is this New York media, and what player do you know said, nope, I'm not going to New York because I'm afraid of the New York media?
Well, there are a lot of players that have taken the Yankees' money and then been unable to perform. There was a guy named Ed Whitson, who was a really good pitcher for the Padres, went to New York, couldn't play. Remember, was it Chuck Knobloch who got to New York he was an all-star in Minnesota, got to New York and couldn't throw the ball to first base?
Yep.
The difference between the L.A. media and the New York media is the New York media, Mace, you worked in that market.
Yep.
They will not let up.
No.
They will, and the tabloids are great, and they make a big deal out of it.
Yeah, if you're on the back page of the New York Post, chances are you're absolutely getting slammed. Like, I think I saw something about, Soto's off to a really slow start after signing a $700 million contract, and they're all over him in New York.
Yeah.
He went from the Yankees to Mets, and now he's the back page of the New York Post a lot. It's not necessarily fun. I think it is a little overstated. A little overstated.
Would Chris Mad Dog Russo's act work in L.A.?
Oh, of course.
You think it would work anywhere?
Yeah. Well, honestly, I don't think we're that soft in the media. Are we that soft? You just said I'm trying to run Michael Conforto out of town. That ain't soft.
Right, but it's not the same as New York. New York is angry. Boston is angry.
Yeah, I'm never going to be angry.
We got nothing to be angry about. We get to live in L.A.
But I am done in left field with Michael Conforto.
Matthew, you're on Sports Graffiti. Matthew, what do you got?
All right, as always, and I wish Michael Thompson was there, but John, you're wrong because you're an idiot, and Mace, of course, is always right.
Thank you.
And let me tell you why.
All right.
Let me tell you why. So if we apply the John Ireland ownership rule to the NBA, the Buss family would not own the Lakers. Do you remember that stretch between 2013 and 2019 before LeBron got here?
Right.
We had 2 top 5 picks, so the Buss family wouldn't own the Lakers, but they were at least spending money. Now, I'm not saying knocking on Mozgov's door at 12:01 is the right way to spend the money, but at least they were spending money, and that's where Mace is right. I said, yeah, Artie's an idiot, but at least he's trying. He's spending money. He's not like these leeches in Colorado and Pittsburgh that are just taking all the tax money from the upper teams. So that's why you're an idiot. Mace, you're the man.
All right.
That's all I got.
Thanks.
All right,
By
thanks,
the way,
Matthew.
he's making a good point. He's separating. I think you should separate like what the Rockies and Pirates are doing. Spending $60 million on payroll, and Artie, who is undeniably trying. He's ham-handed. He's a hack. He's making bad decisions. He's hired the wrong people. They've drafted the wrong guys. They signed the wrong free agents. But he's spending.
All right,
he is trying incompetently.
What do you think of this caveat to these forced to sell your team plan?
Right.
If you win a championship, it buys you 10 years, no matter what. So, in other words, if you went like Artie won his very first year, it was with all of Gene Autry's
and
people.
all that stuff, yeah.
But then his clock wouldn't start until, in his case, 2012. Now, he would still have 10 consecutive losing seasons. But if you win a championship, it should get you something.
So, should it transfer to other sports? Should an NBA team that goes into the tank for some period, like tanking, like the way teams have tanked, the way OKC tanked, the way Philly tanked, the way these teams tanked, should they have lost their teams?
I think you got to win 20 games. If you don't win 20 games in back-to-back seasons, then I think that puts you on the clock.
Well, then there would have been a couple of teams there, right? Did Philly go 2 years winning fewer than 20 games?
I don't think they went 2 in a row, which is what I'm talking about.
And like in baseball, the Cubs went.
But Donald Sterling, that's how we could have got Donald Sterling out.
In the Cubs, they went like 50, 55, 60 wins in a season.
Yeah.
Houston had 3 awful years where they were 60, 70 wins less.
Yeah.
But I just think it's trying that counts.
Josh, you're on Sports Graffiti. Josh, go ahead.
All right, John, I got one for you, and I got one for Mason, so I'm going to save the best for last.
All right.
So for John, using your logic, that definitely would have helped the Clippers back in the day. And then how do you think it would fare for Michael Jordan right now, because Michael's not getting the job done? But then and then Mace, for you, Don Nelson looks really good, man. So I'm going to give you a list between him, Robert Parrish, Snoop Dogg, Cheech and Chong, and I forgot the other guy. But if you could smoke weed with somebody, who would it be? And would you actually recommend? Would you actually recommend Popovich smoke weed since he had a stroke?
I don't know enough to recommend anybody, especially after that. But how could you not choose Snoop? I mean, Snoop is like he signed some gigantic deal with NBC to be on like all their shows, all their coverage of everything. Right before the Olympics. I would say Snoop. I just think he's the most iconic stoner of all time.
Mando, you're on Sports Graffiti. What do you got?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hey, Mace, first thing, whose house?
Rams house.
Hey, John, the solution is so simple, I don't know how you're missing it, man.
What is it?
You guys need a V. Stiviano.
In other words, a V. Stiviano will force a guy to sell his team. So Artie needs a V. Stiviano.
Ramona could probably get a hold of her.
Oh, I'm sure.
We could probably send her in there.
She could ruin another team.
Is she too old to play the part we need her to play?
I don't know. She's got the beekeeper thing on. So,
yeah.
So there's
hard
no way to know.
Hard to say.
Exactly.
Carlos, you're on Sports Graffiti. Carlos, go ahead.
Hey, what's up, guys? Just a quick recommendation for you guys.
Yeah.
Regarding the Pappy Van Winkle, there's a documentary called Heist on Netflix, and it's one of they did a heist on robbing Pappy Van Winkle. Is really good, man. It's a 3-episode series, bro. So check it out.
It's called Heist. Okay.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. Look it up, and then it's regarding it was like one of the biggest heists since the Prohibition times.
Oh, cool.
And it's kind of like a almost got away with it type of thing. But, somebody has to snitch all the time, and you know what it is. Snitches get stitches, so.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
Wow.
Thank you. Pappy Van Winkle.
All right, we'll squeeze a couple more in here. Here's Justin. Hey, Justin, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go ahead.
Hey, guys, by the way, you can throw Philly in as those bitter, angry New York media, or the Northeast media markets, too.
Definitely.
The reason why I called is because I had to, because you were talking about Chick Hearn. So I'm 35 years old, so I got in just in time to hear Chick call those classic Kobe Shaq games. I would watch on what was it, Fox Sports, Prime Ticket, whatever it was back in those days. I would listen in the car. And with my mom and my grandmother, so I'm a third-generation Lakers fan, and I agree with you, John. There will never be another person to replace Chick Hearn. As a matter of fact, it's funny you mentioned, because I rewatched that Celtics-Lakers rivalry series from the 80s on ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
It's still so good, and I still get chills hearing Chick Hearn and Johnny Most, for that matter. They're two of the best to ever do it, at least in basketball. But I got to say, John, even here in Dallas, I still listen to you and Michael call games. You're as close as it gets.
That's very nice of you, Justin. But I'm glad you did what I'm encouraging others to do, and that is go back and listen to Chick, because there's just nobody who could do it as well as him. And I'm saying this as the Lakers' current play-by-play guy.
Right.
I'm telling you, this guy, and I'm not just saying this because Chick was my mentor and the guy I grew up listening to, but this guy had a friggin' gift. I mean, he just was so good. You know, every once in a while you'll see somebody. I get this feeling when I know you and my wife Lisa both like Adele.
Oh, yeah.
When I see Adele perform, you go, she's doing exactly what she was put on earth to do. Same thing with like Kobe, Tiger.
Yep.
You know, great athletes. Chick was put on this earth to entertain people describing basketball games, and there's just nobody better.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's just unbelievable.
All right, so there have been some changes in the college athletics landscape that I think are just like game changers. They're complex. They change the way we follow college sports, and without question, it has eliminated the concept of amateurism. Amateurism is gone.
Pretty much. Well, my buddy Bruce Feldman, my neighbor, is going to come on at 2 o'clock in about 45 minutes, and we're going to talk about that and everything else that's going on with college sports.
Yeah, there's some crazy stuff.
There were two things that happened over the weekend, as you said, that have changed the way sports are going to be, and we're never going back.
Yeah, no question. All right, let's see. Coming up next for you, you can now, we'll touch on one of these. You can now help your favorite college football team make some money.
Yeah,
we'll do that.
In a weird way.
In the weirdest way you can think of. All right, join us, Mason and Ireland, plus Shadano and Cap on Wednesday, June 11th, this Wednesday, day after tomorrow, for a live broadcast, plus a watch party. Hang out with us as we watch L.A. versus San Diego starting at noon at Islands in West Covina. We'll be talking baseball, repping L.A. Pride, soaking up the SoCal vibes, all from the Islands at 139 Barranca Avenue, West Covina. L.A. takes on South, and we will be enjoying great food and cold drinks all afternoon long. That's this Wednesday, June 11th, at the Islands Restaurants, Fine Burgers and Drinks in West Covina. Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN. Let me tell you about Jacob and Ronnie. Thank you. Sports is full of rivalries. We were just talking about San Diego and L.A., Padres, Dodgers. And everybody kicks it up a notch in rivalry games. And you know who my friend Jacob's rival is? It's the insurance companies. And every day is a rivalry game for Jacob. That's okay. Jacob scouted the competition, knows what they're going to try to do. He's able to counteract their attempts to lowball you, and you don't pay a penny out of pocket. Jacob's able to cover your medical expenses, your car rental, get you the settlement at the end of the day that you deserve. He's been doing this since the 90s. Experience matters. And when you're dealing with the insurance companies, don't take a chance. Call Jacob. Let him continue to beat his rival on your behalf. When you call an attorney, you want one who is respected. Call Jacob. He's the real deal. 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. 844-24-JACOB. Or remember,
accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
CallJacob.com. And don't forget, he is a proud partner of the Rams, the Lakers, and LAFC. And you can follow him on Instagram and Facebook at call.jacob for great prizes and advice and more. The handle is at call.jacob. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Travis Rogers and DeMarco Farr.
Back tomorrow at 9 a.m. after Clinton and Friends.
No, how can you be thinking about me with oysters and champagne, man? This is what I'm talking about.
I know that you have an oyster and champagne phobia, and so I was trying to...
I do not have an oyster and champagne phobia. I'm just not having oysters and champagne with you.
I had oysters for lunch, and where Susan and I are sitting there, I'm like, you need to step out of this picture for a second and get the champagne flutes set up there, and I'm like, I'm going to send it to DeMarco.
Wow. Okay, well, I hope you had fun.
We had a great time.
There you go. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I do not need to be there.
We had a great time. It was
You're
terrific.
just on his mind when he's there.
I'm not kidding you. I waited. So we ordered the oysters, And it took them a minute to bring the wine. And Susan's like, well, why aren't you eating them? And I'm like, because I need the wine in the picture to send it to Marco.
You're waiting.
There's no point in sending the picture if we don't have it. They were delicious.
The presentation was outstanding.
That's part of the charm.
Weekday mornings at 9 a.m.
It's Travis and DeMarco
on 710 ESPN.
Be sure to catch Let's Talk About It on Sports Graffiti, weekday afternoons at 1 p.m. on Mason and Ireland. Sponsored by BetterHelp. Mental health is health. Visit BetterHelp.com/timeout today for 10% off your first month of therapy. BetterHelp.com/timeout.
Do you know a high school senior who's a true all-star on the field, in the classroom, and in the community? ESPN LA, along with Rotolo Chevrolet and Composio Buick GMC, is proud to present the All-Star Student Program. We're honoring 5 incredible seniors with a $500 scholarship and an exclusive VIP experience at ESPN LA's All-Star Friday night. Nominate your standout student today at ESPNLA.com. ESPN LA All-Star Student, brought to you by Rotolo Chevrolet, the #1 Chevy dealer in the West region once again. Come see what all the fun is about.
The most followed sports radio station in the world.
In the world. That's right. In the world.
710 ESPN.
You know it. Yeah. Tell your friends.
At ESPN Los Angeles on Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch.
We're naturally entertaining.
Yes.
LA's mega sports station. 710 ESPN.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
And it is Mason and Ireland, the biggest show on the radio. And we know Mason loves to throw out scenarios.
I threw a bunch of scenarios out there yesterday. A lot of people screamed at me on Twitter, which is fine. Don't use all caps. Don't use all caps.
More of Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN and always on the all-new ESPN LA app.
This song was what we called a power the night I went on the radio at 93 QWRQN. So that, let me see if I can get this. I went on the radio that night. So I would say 80, it's either 85 or 87. I'll go 85.
1987.
87. Very close.
You're close.
Great song. I think one of the great songs ever written, to be honest with you. It's been re-recorded by so many people. All right, so I want to do... I'm a professional broadcaster.
Really?
I do all the right things.
Yes, you do.
Except I forgot this, and it's an important one to forget. Whenever we do Sports Graffiti, Let's Talk About It on Sports Graffiti is sponsored by BetterHelp. So if you are involved in any kind of emotional crisis right now, if you're depressed or you've got anxiety or you feel overwhelmed at work or in your relationship, BetterHelp is here for you with a therapist right now. Mental health is health. Go to betterhelp.com/timeout. That's betterhelp.com/timeout. All right, so Laura, you did something interesting over the weekend. You went to a place called Sandbox. Describe it.
So it was my sister-in-law's birthday, and all she wanted to do was go pick sunflowers, which we did that in Costa Mesa, and go to Sandbox, which is a virtual reality thing. I don't even know how to explain it correctly, but you basically put on the goggles, you get all these little
sensors all over you, right?
Sensors all over you, and then you get to pick what immersive reality you want to be in. So we did the killer zombies.
Yep.
So we were the people trying to survive, right? We were the kill.
Did you kill zombies?
Well, they killed me mostly.
Oh,
but,
did they? Yeah.
But it's actually super cool and really scary. We had 6 players, and then there was 2 people that sat out, and all they kept saying was like, all we heard was oh my God, or like a lot of cursing. Obviously, they are just seeing 6 people move around in a room, so they have no idea what the context of what's going on. But it was really cool. It was super realistic. And there was like these killer dogs at one point we were like, what the hell?
So where is
So we did this one in Cerritos, at the Cerritos Mall. So we did that one. But I know that they have other locations available throughout Southern California.
Nice.
So if you guys want like a good kind of environment it's like a bonding experience too. So I feel like we should totally do it.
It sounds like it's almost like going to play paintball. You all kind of get together, you all get on your VR gear, and you fight zombies together. Ireland, are you in on VR? Have you ever tried VR? Like real VR?
No.
You should do it. There are certain things that I think you resist that you should try just to try.
I think we should do it as a team.
Like VR is really cool.
I'm not against it.
It's really cool.
You do sweat a lot, though, I will say.
Yeah, I mean,
good to know.
You haven't been to Cosm yet. Cosm,
that's
really
awesome.
like you should go watch around to the U.S. Open at Cosm. They're doing the U.S.
Yeah,
Open over there.
I can't wait to get to
Be
Cosm.
super cool. Well, that's very cool. It's called Sandbox.
Sandbox.
Locations around, including one at Cerritos Mall.
Yes, and do it. It's super fun. There's also like a Squid Games one and stuff. So yeah, you get to pick like your own.
So Ireland, this is weird. There have been a couple of laws passed now that kind of free up money in college athletics. And one of the most popular, if not the most popular video game out there is EA Sports College Football.
Yeah, this is strange to me.
So when EA Sports College Football 26 comes out, they've devised a new method of paying universities for the usage of their names, images, and likenesses in the new game. It ties royalties directly to how often the teams are used in that game. Now, Brian, I've never played college football, EA college football. Have you?
Yeah, I owned and played the last one, so not this new one, but they had like a hiatus. So this last year's was a pretty big game just because it came back.
So think about this: if you play, let's say you play USC's team,
nice.
USC will get a
bigger cut of the pie.
Piece of the pie than, say, Fresno State. Alabama will get a bigger piece of the pie. Georgia, it's actually kind of a case of the rich get richer. Nobody wants to be Boise State.
This is interesting, though. I know there's a huge part of this gaming community, the NCAA, that actually enjoys using the lower tier teams.
Oh, is there really?
Yeah, especially when they do their like my player. They want to be the star. You put your guy, if you want to start right away, you got to put him on a lower tier school.
Okay.
So I know last year a lot of those bottom schools that you would never heard of are actually one of the more common
ones. Are they really?
Ones. Yeah.
So it may not be rich get richer if people like playing some of the smaller schools.
Well, and if a school kind of comes out of the woodwork like Colorado did a couple of years ago, that could be a nice spike for them. But I feel bad. Like, is anybody actually going to be like Troy State?
No, he just said people like playing.
People like doing that.
People like playing the smaller schools.
It is a very common thing, especially among like the streamers and stuff. It's more of a challenge to take the worst school in the game and try to win that championship.
So you take a bad school and you try to win. So yeah, maybe it will even out in the end. Maybe somebody will be San Jose State. Laura?
But maybe like because you know of the incentive, you'll pick a school that you like, so then they get more revenue.
Yeah, like if you're a Trojans fan, every time you play
a Bruin fan,
every time you play the Trojans, you're going to actually contribute to the Trojans' ability.
Oh, they actually have the transfer portal in there too. So, for example, when I played last year, I was on a different school 4 years. So, really? a little, share the money.
Oh, that's interesting.
There you go.
Interesting. All right, coming up next for you. Why don't we do this, John? A man tried to do something impossible, and he was undone by foam. I will explain it coming up next. In the meantime, ESPN LA 710 and Children's Dental Fun Zone are presenting the T-Ball Tee-Off, part of ESPN LA's 4th annual All-Star Friday Night, happening July the 11th at the West Covina Sportsplex. Kids age 7 to 12 can swing big, be part of the All-Star action. Sign up now at ESPNLA.com. Click on the T-Ball Tee-Off card. Find sign up in your designed age group. Children's Dental Fun Zone, sparkling smiles, happy kids. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
So you want to play in the 7-10 listener game on All-Star Friday night, Friday, July 11th in West Covina? Of course, the listener game made possible by our friends, the law offices of Joseph S. Normand. Here's what you got to do. You got to come to Island Boy on Wednesday in West Covina to sign up in person so you can play in the 7-10 listener game. Islands, West Covina, Mason and Islands and Island Cap broadcasting live. Be there Wednesday and sign up to play in the 7-10 listener game. Thanks to Joseph S. Normand. We'll see you out in West Covina on Wednesday, Jack.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Los Angeles International Airport's People Mover trains begin rolling early next year as part of LAX's ongoing investments to transform and improve your travel journey. The People Mover trains will quickly move guests between their terminals and our new consolidated rental car center, metro trains and buses, economy parking, and Kiss and Fly lot. The trains will make it simple and fast to get to your LAX destination in 10 minutes or less, and trains depart every 2 minutes beginning in early 2026. Learn more at lawa.org/ESPN.
Hey guys, let's talk about Prize Picks, but let's start off by saying this. Do you know ball? I mean, do you really know ball? Are you a ball knower? Well, there's only one series left in the playoffs, and the championship is officially on the line. That means time is running out for you to put your final takes to the test on Prize Picks, the best place to cash in on your favorite sports. On Prize Picks, you can mix and match player projections from different sports, combine your favorite basketball players from baseball to hockey to esports, and don't forget my favorite darts and much, much more. Prize Picks invented the flex play. I always play flex, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. So here's what I want you to do. Download the Prize Picks app. Use our code CAPPY, K-A-P-P-Y. You're going to get that $50 instantaneously when you make your first $5 lineup. That's code CAPPY, K-A-P-P-Y. Get that $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game.
This just in. The NFL schedule has dropped, and you know what that means. It's go time. Adam Schefter here with the Insider Tip. If you're trying to catch your team live this season, Vivid Seats is the move. For the best selection of games and seats, it's time to snap your tickets up now. Vivid Seats has great deals on great seats and the only rewards program in the game. It's no wonder they're the official ticketing partner of ESPN. So don't wait. Head to vividseats.com or download the app and lock in those game days.
We're everyday people doing good in our community. Our kindness runs deep, just like our blood. The same blood we donate to help treat sickle cell disease, which hits Black people the hardest. Good news is, 1 in 3 Black blood donors is a match for someone struggling with sickle cell disease. Stand tall in the eyes of your community. Donate today because our blood saves lives. Visit redcrossblood.org/ourblood to make your donation.
And it is Mason and Ireland, your Monday afternoon. Wednesday, come join us in the city of West Covina and Island Boy, for some of the best food you're going to ever try, like those onion rings, the cheddar fries, and your chance to sign up. That's right. If you want to play in the listener game on Friday, July 11th, that All-Star Friday night, you got to come to Islands and sign up. First come, first serve, Jack. Islands in West Covina. Mason and Ireland will be there Wednesday from noon to 3. And Sedano, Cap 2, 3 to 6. Join us right now, though. More of Mason and Ireland, your Monday on 710.
I think of something very specific when I hear this song. I remember being at the Palms pool area. This was super happening
when the Maloofs owned it.
Yep, those were and that was a great time. And this song being like the banger of that summer. This song came out in. I'm going to take a shot on this one.
This is Rihanna, right?
This is Rihanna.
Yeah.
2009.
Ooh, close. 2007.
2007. Very close.
Ella.
One thing, by the way, we're getting ready for Dodgers Padres. One thing that we saw yesterday, John, in full effect, is the 100. Well, the as strong as it's going to get version of the bullpen. Kirby Yates, Tanner Scott, Michael Kopech all through yesterday and locked down the game. And by the way, Clayton Kershaw, who they're going to need to rely on with Tony Gonsolin now having an elbow thing that Dave Roberts didn't sound too optimistic about.
But I think that's what, if you're a Dodger fan, that's all you can ask from Kershaw. 6 innings. He had 7 straight. He won't always have 7 strikeouts, but he had 7 strikeouts, 6 innings, handed to the bullpen, covers 7, 8, 9. thank you, good night.
Yes. And I
Yeah.
think that's what Kershaw, what they need from Kershaw is him to be, I never thought, crafty. He needs to
Yeah.
be crafty, like they used to say.
Yeah, but the only reason I bet against you on this Dodgers are going to be in first place at the end of the month thing is their schedule and their pitching. They don't have their pitchers, and the schedule's hard.
Yeah, seven
so
of the
I think
games.
they're going to have a bad couple of weeks, but after that, they'll be good.
They have 3 road games and then 7 home games.
Right, but they don't have any pitching.
Well, I mean, obviously May tonight.
I'm assuming that.
TBD,
Tell me if you agree with this.
By the way, I think TBD is going to just. TBD is my favorite pitcher for the Dodgers.
Oh, it's
TBD.
like it's like when the Chargers' our favorite Chargers receiver was caught.
Yes,
because Lee Hamilton used to say, "Back to pass, everyone into the pattern, throws down the middle, caught." Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if you look at their rotation now, you basically are going Yamamoto, who they wasted a great performance from this weekend.
They just didn't score any runs.
No. Kershaw, May, TBD, and Robleski.
Yeah, that's
Justin
not
Robleski.
that's not a championship pitching.
But I like
rotation.
May and Yamamoto are good. And remember,
Here's the thing about
there's
May.
By the way, there's something ironic too about the bullpen game tomorrow. That's what kept them alive last year in that series with the Padres was a bullpen game.
All right, tell me this is a fair assessment of Dustin May.
Okay.
I like his stuff. He's got great movement on the ball. He throws too many pitches right down the middle. He normally he pitches to contact, and I don't remember him doing that before. But you'll see all of his pitches tend to end up right in the middle of the plate, and he gets rocked a little bit. And I have a feeling if he does that tonight, he's going to get shelled. So hopefully he'll work the corners a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, in his last 17 innings, he's given up 5 runs, which isn't too bad.
No, that's good.
He's averaging, let's see, strikeout count. He had 8, then 7, then 4, then 5. So his strikeout numbers are down. His ERA is up. I mean, they need him to be very, very good now during this stretch. He's 3-4. He's got a 4.09 ERA.
Well, the way
he's
you
going to
just-
face Nick Pivetta, their best pitcher tonight.
The way you lined up the rotation is you said Yamamoto, Kershaw. Kershaw wouldn't be a number 2 starter on a bad team. That's just the circumstances the Dodgers are in.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no Blake Snell. There's no Tyler Glasnow. Now there's no Tony Gonsolin.
Well,
There's no Emmett Sheehan.
Go back to what you said originally. Kershaw wouldn't be
a number 2 starter on any championship staff.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Not in year 20 or whatever
Right,
he's in.
and really they're treading, by the way, look where they are. They're treading water until, Blake Snell gets back, until Tyler Glasnow gets back, until Roki Sasaki gets back. They're treading water,
Right.
but they're
I
doing
mean, those
a good
are
job
3
of it.
potential number 1 starters.
Yeah, they're missing basically.
Sasaki maybe not is a year or 2 away from being a number 1, but he's really good.
Yeah, I mean they're missing 3/5 of their starting rotation,
Well,
and they
and
still
then
lead the NL West.
Some of the other guys, like Trinan's not pitching.
No,
Sheehan's not pitching.
Trinan's done. Phillips is done.
Wait, is Trinan done for the year?
I believe
Phillips is?
I believe Trinan's done for the year. Brian, do you know?
I think Phillips is done.
don't
for
know.
the
I
year.
know
Phillips
Phillips
is
is,
having
yeah.
Tommy John.
Phillips had surgery.
Yeah, but Trinan they have him. He's on the 60, but I think they haven't ruled him out coming back. And Trinan could actually close. I mean, I know they used him as a setup guy.
Yeah, he's on the 60, but there's no real word of how. Going to miss months, not weeks, is what the latest
All right,
report on.
I know
him
we
was.
got to get to what's up, full, but can I ask you a Rams question?
Yeah, do it.
Okay.
Do it. Whose house?
So
Rams house.
most people, and I'm rooting for this to happen because I think it'd be good for the Rams, think that Jalen Ramsey is eventually going to get traded to the Rams. They're haggling over price and detail.
Yes.
Do you see what happened today?
Yeah, in Green
Jair
Bay.
Alexander got released in Green Bay. He is another lockdown cover corner, and he's younger than Ramsey.
Yep.
If you had a choice between Jalen Ramsey or Jair Alexander, where are you going?
I'm going Jair Alexander.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. And I think I read a bunch of stuff today.
So I don't know a ton about this, but you might know a little more than me. The way I understand it is Ramsey is more physical. Like he's in on every tackle.
Yep.
He's good. He can play. Alexander is a little bit faster, a little bit better of a cover corner, of a ball hawk.
Yes.
So I think the Rams are good stopping the run. They have good linebackers. They have good down linemen, whether it be Jared Verse or Kobe Turner or whoever they got.
Yep.
That's why I think you could go with Alexander and be just as good as you would. Now, is there a world where you get both?
I don't think so.
I don't either.
Yeah, I think that's tough. I don't know their cap situation, but one of those guys I think does make sense. Right now they're getting by at cornerback with Akilah Witherspoon and Darius Williams. Those are the two guys.
Who were both good last year.
Yeah, we were both good. Witherspoon sort of hit that 2 years ago. He's pretty good. Last year, pretty good. I mean, they definitely need an upgrade at cornerback, and either Alexander or Jalen Ramsey would definitely be upgrades. I actually read today that it's likely that Alexander winds up with either the Rams, the Chargers, or the Raiders.
There you go.
So it's going to be
Coming west.
one of those teams. Exactly. All right, we're going to do some What's Up Fool coming up next. Brian's got stuff, and Laura's got stuff. And it's a Michelob Ultra Reaction Monday, reacting to the NBA Finals. Game 2 last night. Oklahoma City rolled over Indiana. You can listen to every NBA Finals game this week on 710 in the all-new ESPN LA app. Thanks to Michelob Ultra. Refreshing and balanced flavor. Only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. Michelob Ultra. Superior light beer. Please enjoy responsibly. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
All right, time to tell you about Thrive, the leading managed security service provider in the country. Remember this website. I'll give it to you again. ThriveNextGen.com/ESPN. ThriveNextGen.com/ESPN. That's the web address where you can protect your company and protect your data. If you're running a company, you probably already know 1/3 of businesses will unwittingly turn over their sensitive company data to thieves this year in an instant. Your customer files, bank accounts, everything is compromised. And you won't know until the $1 million ransom demand hits your email. Preventing that is why your business needs Thrive. It all starts with a cyber risk assessment. Thrive security analysts identify gaps and deliver solutions to help keep your network healthy and protective. Trust me, I've been hacked. You don't want it. It's not a matter of if, it's when. Get ready. Get your no-obligation security recommendations and consultation. Your business relies on it. Visit ThriveNextGen.com/ESPN. One more time. That's ThriveNextGen.com/ESPN. Protect your business with Thrive.
Sedano and Cap.
Today at 3 p.m. after Mason and Ireland.
I don't know anything, but I just think it would make all the sense in the world for next year to be the year that is the final year.
I would like to also acknowledge that I, too, know nothing. However, I'm making a prediction. I say LeBron and Bronny and Bryce all play together for the Lakers. If that's what LeBron wants, that's what LeBron's going to get. But I think that he waits and Bryce plays 1 year at Arizona, jumps to the NBA, because that's what LeBron tells the Lakers he wants him to do.
I don't know what you want me to say.
Do you guys think I'm out of my mind?
I mean, I don't know, Cap. I don't know what to say to you.
What you should say to me is, Cap, God, that's smart. Gosh, you are so smart, man.
I don't know. I haven't slept enough today to really think about this stuff. So
then just roll with it, bro.
Yeah, sure. Whatever you say, Cap.
Thank you.
The LA Afternoon Takeover. That's Sedano and Cap.
On 710 ESPN.
Pacific Palms Resort, LA's Hilltop Hideaway and #1 work and play resort, provides opportunities for all travelers and locals. Enjoy restful accommodation, dine in the Red Restaurant with an expansive outside patio, or pamper yourself and relax at the spa. Hit the links at one of their 2 championship courses, the Babe and the Ike. Pacific Palms Resort is the perfect choice for a Los Angeles venue for your business meetings, weddings, and big events. Enjoy a beautiful staycation or family holiday at their Hilltop property. Book your stay at LA's #1 work and play resort today at PacificPalmsResort.com.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
BetterHelp recently surveyed over 16,000 people and found that while 75% of people believe it's wise to seek support, only 27% of Americans are in therapy, and people stay silent to avoid being judged. At BetterHelp, they have over 10 years of experience matching you with the right therapist. We're all better with help. Visit BetterHelp.com/timeout today for 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/timeout.
Looking for all things black and gold? Tap into LAFC Plus, hosted by Dave Denholm and Mario Ruiz.
This is LAFC Plus. He's Mario Ruiz. I'm Dave Denholm.
React to the latest match. Get ready for the upcoming game. Get exclusive interviews. Plus, a look around the rest of the MLS.
This is what LA is about. Not just being in the big games, but also winning.
New episodes of LAFC Plus drop weekly. Available everywhere you get your podcasts and on the ESPN LA app.
Teams are battling for the championship, and there's no better place to get in on the intensity than ESPN Bet. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
It was a doubleheader in August and really hot inside the concession stand. So instead of waiting for people to come to me, I figured I'd walk around yelling, "Hot dogs here!" And that's how I became the first hot dog vendor in sports.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
What's Up, Fool is brought to you by Dos Hombres Mezcal. It's fate. It's friendship. It's mezcal. Dos Hombres.
All right, boys. So I know you guys love Breaking Bad. And
Yes.
This came up on my timeline, so I
Okay.
wanted to bring it up.
Great.
The owner of the Breaking Bad house was caught spraying fans with water hoses to demand they get off her famous property. They were actually not on the property, but they were pretty close to the property. I just feel like if you buy a home or your home is featured in a movie/TV, you kind of know that that's gonna happen with the territory, right?
Sure.
So if you guys had a famous house, how would you guys handle having people buy your property on your property 24/7?
I don't know if I'd ever buy a famous house for that reason.
Yeah,
if
I
you
don't think I would either.
Even if you buy OJ's old house, they tore it down, they built it back up, they made Rockingham a one-way street, and people still find ways to go look
still
at
there.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't want to live in a famous house. I guess this guy loaned his house to the production company, and that's why it's famous.
Well, this one's a woman just going off.
Like, if you I walk pier to pier a lot. I walk from the Manhattan Beach Pier to the Hermosa Beach Pier.
Yeah.
And you can walk by the 90210 house, 90210 house.
Oh,
where,
really?
Kelly, where Jenny Garth and Tori Spelling lived at the end of 90210. And people still, you can rent that house. It's a rental. And people still go down there just to see it. And that show's been off the air for 30 years.
Yeah.
So if you, Lori, you're right. If you buy something that was famous, you can't freak out when people are driving by your house every 20 minutes.
Yeah, like it comes with the territory. Like, listen, nobody should be on nobody's property without permission, like 100%. But if you have a home that is notoriously known for something, you're going to get a crowd. Like it happens to the Fast and the Furious all the time.
Yeah, I would sell it notoriously if my house became notorious. I would want nothing to do with my house being famous at all.
Your house was a little famous.
This is kind of
It's a little famous, but
your house is famous?
Why
you hit a party because the party.
I threw a party.
You
Yeah.
threw the party, and the guy just walked into your house. I just thought that was funny.
That is true. Neighbors walked into my house during that party.
I used to do
Good
that.
for them.
Like if I lived in an apartment complex on the west side, a really nice one.
Yeah.
And whenever my neighbors were having a party, didn't know any of my neighbors, I would just go. Lisa and I would just go walk over there and say, "Hey, we live across the hall."
So we invited the normal neighbors, but some guy literally just walked in and said, "Hey, I heard you're having a party.
Why not?
Come on in. Why not?
Yeah, more the merrier.
Yeah.
Let's go.
What's up, fool?
All right, guys. CIF here in California disqualified somebody here locally. Let me give you guys a little backstory.
Okay.
So, Clara Adams, 16-year-old sprinter from North Salinas High School, ended up winning the 400-meter state final with the time of 53.24 seconds. Sophomore in high school here was disqualified after the race because of her celebration. So her and her dad and her coach took a fire extinguisher and kind of sprayed the spikes, you know.
Wait a minute. That's what Maurice Green used to do. The fastest man in the world.
Right.
Yeah.
And the whole caveat here is this was after the opponents had already left. So this is not like immediately right after the race. This is, you know, in their own kind of term. The crowd was pumping them up. Everybody loved it. CIF came out and said it's unsportsmanlike, and they disqualified her.
Okay.
As a sophomore, she came out and said, you know, wouldn't have done it of all this, but it's not that big of a deal. My whole thing is here. It's, you know, it's in professional sports, we have the whole let the kids play, all this celebration in MLB now and, you know, NFL.
Right.
Do you see an issue with this? You know, a high school kid celebrating?
Do I see an issue?
Yeah.
A huge issue. This is exactly why I lost it at that ref in Oklahoma City. You are not more important than the competitors. Nobody is there to watch you, CIF rules guy. You're an idiot. This girl won the race fair and square. She celebrated with adults, by the way.
Her coach, too, yeah.
And mimicking a celebration that Maurice Green, one of the fastest people in the world, used to do. It was probably, that's where she got the idea.
Yep.
And Brian, this is preposterous. It's equal to that dope that threw Luka out in Oklahoma City because Luka looked at him funny and said something to a fan. I
don't care.
Right.
I don't care.
It's just this type of crap drives me crazy. I hope I hope normal people prevail and reinstate her as the winner. That sucks.
It's kind of silly. I mean, it really is. But I think it's also dumb to do, to be honest with you. I think it's a dumb thing to do.
Right, but should it cost her the race?
No,
Yeah.
but it's dumb. You know, it's
She's
like...
also like kid though. Like, you know, she's gonna want to celebrate. She wasn't hurting
Yeah.
anybody. That's stupid.
Are you allowed to just grab a fire extinguisher and shoot it off?
On your own feet?
I don't know.
Somebody had brought it to her,
like,
you know?
If I walked down here and grabbed a fire extinguisher, would I not get in trouble for spraying
I
my
see
feet?
your point.
No,
Did
did you just win a race?
No, but I'm saying, did she have the fire extinguisher with her? Did she take one off the building? Was it at the track?
No, my guess is she had it with her. It was a pre-planned celebration.
It was, yeah.
If she brought her own, I'm okay.
It was like her coach and her dad are in on the whole thing, too.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let the kids have some fun. I don't.
Yeah, just stupid. Adults sticking their nose in things they don't belong. It just dopes.
What's up, Foo?
All right, guys. So I know that the morning show talks a little bit about birthdays, and Michael J. Fox is celebrating a birthday. I feel like he has a lot of movies. My favorite movie is Back to the Future. Do you guys have another favorite movie from him, or is it the Back to the Future series?
Back to the Future is his most successful money-making adventure, but he had some other great ones. Michael J. Fox was a great actor, and you know, since by the way, this gives us an excuse to say something nice to Bill Plaschke at the LA Times, who revealed over the weekend that he was diagnosed with Parkinson's a few years ago. He kept him to himself, but over the weekend he agreed to come out, and we're thinking about you, Bill, and are nothing but supportive.
Yeah, hang in there, Bill.
And can't wait to see you at a game, so I can tell you that in person. But Michael J. Fox Mace has actually made Parkinson's more, I don't know acceptable. I don't know. One of the top 5 Curb Your Enthusiasm episodes ever is Michael J. Fox moves into Larry's building, and Larry and Michael J. Fox don't like each other. They don't get along. And Michael J. Fox keeps spilling things on Larry. Like, they'll be at a table and there'll be a Diet Coke, and Michael J. Fox will knock the Coke all over Larry, and he'll look at him and go, "Fox, you a-hole." He goes, "It's the Parkinson's.
Right.
I didn't mean to do it." And then 10 minutes later, he'll do it again.
Yeah.
Parkinson's. And it's not. Fox is
Sure.
messing with him. But
I'll tell you what, all of his arcs on The Good Wife were fantastic.
Mr.
Where he played
Canning.
that quirky lawyer guy was terrific. I just think, and I guess maybe he's made it more visible.
Right.
Parkinson's, he's made more visible and demonstrated that it doesn't have to be the end of your life, that there is still, and we say that to Bill too, still writing, still covering games, all that stuff, all possible, and made visible. I would say the other movie that he doesn't get enough credit for is Teen Wolf.
Oh, that's a great one.
Teen Wolf is really
he
fun.
also has a great part. I'm, of course, worship at the Church of Aaron Sorkin.
Oh,
he has a great
American
part of the
President.
American President where he's basically playing George Stephanopoulos.
Yep.
And
That's a great movie.
Yeah, and he's great in it.
Can I sneak another one in really quick that it kind of goes with it because also Johnny Depp's birthday. And I know everybody knows, like, like the Edward Scissorhands. And you don't like Johnny Depp?
Donnie Brasco, most underrated
Forget
Johnny
about
Depp
it.
movie.
Forget about
I
it.
love Crybaby.
Crybaby?
Yeah, I don't
the
know.
John Waters one? Okay.
I love Crybaby.
Okay.
And not a famous
Is
take.
there
I know.
a question about...
No, I just wanted to throw it in because it's his birthday.
Famously found a grumpy on his bed.
Yeah. The SNL skit from that was so good.
So funny.
So good.
He seems like a movie star that is so big that he's in his own little universe somewhere and doesn't have any self-awareness at all.
God bless him. All right, what do you got?
All right, guys, another on this day, 2008, Ken Griffey Jr., 600th career home run. At the time, only the sixth player ever to do that. It kind of tied this in one of these milestones. So you got the 600 home runs, and Kershaw, we talked about earlier, about 17 strikeouts from 3,000. And listening to the game over the weekend, they were talking about Justin Verlander, too, because they're going to be playing the Giants here coming up. Very close. I think he's like 40 or 38 wins from 300. And they were kind of talking about the 300 wins versus the 3,000 strikeouts. Currently, Verlander and Scherzer are the only ones with 3,000 that are active. But when you think about the milestones, the 600 home runs, the 300 career wins as a pitcher, or 3,000 strikeouts, which one in today's game do you think is the most obtainable?
Oh, obtainable. I think you're going the other way. I was going to say no one's ever going to win 300
The
games
wins,
again.
it seems like it's a little crazy.
No, I don't think even Verlander gets there. He's like 20-something away.
I think
he
he's
was on the
38.
injured list the last time I
He still
checked.
is, yeah.
So 300 wins, I don't think we'll ever see again. Was it 600 home runs?
600 home runs, 3,000 strikeouts.
I mean, I question whether we're ever going to see 600 home runs again. Will we? What's Shohei Ohtani on pace for?
No,
What's Aaron Judge on pace for?
I got the all-time list in front of me. We're probably not. Nobody in the top 50 are all retired.
Yeah.
Giancarlo Stanton is the leader in active home runs with 429. Okay, so Brian,
Judge with 338.
Yeah. Brian, you mentioned, don't look at the list, Mace, for this. You mentioned that there were only 6 people at the time that had 600 home runs.
At the time, yeah.
Now there are 9, and I think I could give you guys 9 one-word clues, and you'd get them all. Ready?
Okay, let's
try it. All right, number 1, Giants.
Bonds.
Number 2, Braves.
Hank Aaron.
Okay. Number 3, Yankees.
Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth, right. Number 4, Cardinals.
Cardinals?
And was a Dodger at one point.
Go ahead. Shout it out.
Pujols. Yeah.
Albert Pujols.
Yeah,
Number 4.
right.
By the way, did you guys know this? I didn't know this. That's where the 700 stopped. Did you know Albert Pujols hit 703 home runs?
No.
I thought there were only 3 people on that list. Okay, so that's the top 4. Number 5,
McGuire.
No. J-Lo.
Rodriguez.
A-Rod.
I was like,
Okay. Number 6, hyphenated word here. Say hey.
Willie Mays.
Okay. Number 7, Mariners.
Ken Griffey Jr.
Kid.
Okay, 2 more. Number 8. This is going to be a hard one. Indians.
Jim Thome.
Good.
Yeah, that's right.
Jim
Yeah.
Thome.
I was thinking Jim Thome. I can't
pull.
believe he had that many.
Yeah, he had
forget about that.
612.
Wow.
And the
Nice
last
pull,
one
Brian.
on the list, Cubs.
Sosa.
Yeah.
Sammy Sosa.
Yeah.
So McGuire didn't get to 600?
No, he's
did not.
583.
580.
He's number 11. For our buddy Frank Robinson, the late great Frank Robinson's number 10.
Yeah.
586.
By the way, if I'm not mistaken, I think I've always thought 3,000 hits is a great benchmark, and it doesn't happen for. I think Manny Machado has a chance to wind up with 3,000 hits.
Probably because his game, he's not fast. He can play probably till he's 40.
Yeah, he's got a shot. He's got a
just
shot.
he's just a hitter.
Although he's not going to hustle towards it.
There you go.
Yeah.
What's up, Foo?
Is that it? Or we got one more?
I have one more.
All right, go.
do it.
Get
All
it
right,
on.
guys.
Do it quick.
So, sorry.
No, do it as slow as you want, Laura.
Okay.
Do it in slow
Let
motion.
me really try really hard. Okay, so Bill Simmons thinks that Kevin Durant, the trade for Kevin Durant to the San Antonio Spurs might already be done, and both teams are just keeping it under wraps. He said, I wouldn't be surprised if KD to the Spurs is done already, and they just haven't announced it. Basically, they've agreed on specifics. They will just announce it during the week of the draft. This goes back to the Giannis thing. I think they trade for KD because it's costs less. It goes on, but because of time. Do you guys believe that the trade is done, KD's going to the Spurs, and they're just keeping it under wraps?
I don't know if it's that extreme, but I would put the Kevin Durant's getting traded.
Yeah.
I would put the percentage that he's being traded to San Antonio at over 60%.
Over 60%. So it's possible.
I would say
deal
65% Spurs, 35% other.
Now, you're allowed to do that deal right now, or do you have to wait till July 1 to do that deal?
You would be smart to wait right up until the draft, because then you know who's picking where.
And not necessarily the new calendar.
Right.
Season.
It'll be done. It'll be done by middle of July.
Yeah, because I heard them say, I think it was Windhorse today said it's probably the next 2 weeks we're going to know about
I think
deals.
the Lakers are going to have a center in the next month.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I think we're going to know.
And his name is?
That's the question we don't know.
Take a shot.
Because I want him to keep Austin Reeves, I'm going to say it's Brook Lopez.
Okay.
Because he's a free agent and he's unrestricted.
Yeah. I'm going to say it is Nick Claxton.
That would require a trade.
A trade.
But he's a better option.
Maybe not Austin Reeves in a trade for Nick Claxton. Maybe that can be done without
and
giving up
I will
Austin.
say this. Keep an eye on Daniel Gafford in Dallas.
I think Gafford too, but I just
I
can't
think
imagine.
you have to give Reeves up.
I also can't imagine Nico Harrison making another deal with the Lakers.
I could, because think about it.
Yeah.
If you traded Austin Reeves for Daniel Gafford, then the trade becomes Luka and Gafford and Maxi Kleba for AD, Austin, and Max Christie plus a number 1 pick.
Yeah, why do we want to make that even?
That's a more palatable trade for Dallas.
Yeah.
But let's see what happens. I think, I said, Austin's my favorite player on the team, and I want him traded. So I'm hoping they go get one of the free agents.
And right, with AD, Gafford, and Lively, they're kind of redundant in there, so they can afford to move Gafford.
Yeah.
All right, there you have it.
Coming up next, we're going to get into all this college football stuff.
Man.
I'm lucky enough to live 2 doors down from the greatest college football writer in America, Bruce Feldman, and he will join us next.
Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN.
So you want to play in the 7-10 Listener Game on All-Star Friday Night, Friday, July 11th in West Covina? Of course, the Listener Game made possible by our friends, the law offices of Joseph S. Normand. Here's what you got to do. You got to come to Island Boy on Wednesday in West Covina to sign up in person so you can play in the 7-10 Listener Game. Islands, West Covina, Mason and Ireland's at Island Cap broadcasting live. Be there Wednesday and sign up to play in the 7-10 Listener Game. Thanks to Joseph S. Normand. We'll see you out in West Covina on Wednesday, Jack.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. We are ranked number 18 in the nation and number 1 in Orange County for orthopedic and spine care by U.S. News & World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
Thanks, Dad, for all the wisdom you've passed down to me that I promised to start using. Someday. Now your top reasons to visit Morongo.
Father's Day freebie. Dads get a sleek mechanical pencil free on Father's Day.
Number 2.
Billy Gardell, live July 12th.
And the number 1 reason.
Extreme gift giveaway. Get an HD Eternal drone when you earn 500 points on your rewards card, the 17th.
Morongo, good times.
Do you know a high school senior who's a true all-star on the field, in the classroom, and in the community? ESPN LA, along with Rotolo Chevrolet and Capozio Buick GMC, is proud to present the All-Star Student Program. We're honoring 5 incredible seniors with a $500 scholarship and an exclusive VIP experience at ESPN LA's All-Star Friday Night. Nominate your standout student today at ESPNLA.com. Brought to you by Rotolo Chevrolet, the number 1 Chevy dealer in the West region, 13 years in a row in California once again.
The biggest event of the summer is coming to Honda Center. Saturday, June 28th. Most Valuable Promotions presents global boxing star Jake Paul on his path to becoming world champion. Taking on Mexico's former world champion, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com. In the co-main event, Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez defends his world titles against Cuba's knockout artist, Yuniel Dorticos. Former boxing and UFC champ Holly Holm returns live from the Honda Center on Saturday, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
710 ESPN.
KSPN, Los Angeles.
A Good Karma Brands radio station.
And it is Mason and Ireland, your Monday afternoon. Wednesday, come join us in the city of West Covina and Islands. Island Moy. For some of the best food you're going to ever try, like those onion rings, the cheddar fries, and your chance to sign up. That's right. If you want to play in the listener game on Friday, July 11th, that All-Star Friday night, you got to come to Islands and sign up. First come, first serve, Jack. Islands in West Covina. Mason and Ireland will be there Wednesday from noon to 3. And Sedano, Cap 2, 3 to 6. Join us right now, though. More of Mason and Ireland, your Monday on 710.
Oh, this song, John. This was a huge song. Bridesmaids. Yeah, definitely makes me think of Bridesmaids. Yeah, whatever happened to these? Whatever happened to China Phillips? Like, she was a thing.
She married one of the Baldwins.
Oh, that's right. She did. She married, I think, Billy. All right, so there's a little course on
People Magazine
Wilson
trivia
Phillips,
for
exactly. And there's been all kinds of changes now in college football, and a lot of them are just like sudden, bam,
and huge.
Yeah.
And to help us sort them out is my neighbor Bruce Feldman. For my money, the best college writer in America today. And Bruce, how are things? How are you, man?
Good to be on with you guys. Thank you for the kind words.
Yeah, great to have you. All right, explain to us and to the audience the significance of this house thing, house versus NCAA. I understand, Bruce, that schools can now pay players directly. How is that different from the NIL we just went through last year?
Well, now you have in this house settlement that came out late Friday night, and it goes into effect July 1st, so that's right around the corner, that there's about $20.5 million revenue sharing cap, and it's going to cover every sport in a school's athletic department. Now, the bulk of it, if you have a major college football program, is going to be around $15 million. Probably a lot less will go to the college basketball team or the other revenue-producing sports, and then, it'll probably diminish way down from there. What's different now, I think, is right this year that we're in right now, especially with college football not too far around the corner, you're going to have teams that may spend $40 million on the roster that is including into this salary cap from revenue share, but other deals that they've already worked out. And so last year, and Ohio State's athletic director put this out there, that they had spent about $20 million on the roster. I think you may get double that for some programs. And it's hard for me to believe, after talking to a lot of coaches over the last 72 hours, that they're going to walk back and go, okay, we may have spent $40 million this year. Next year, we're only going to spend 20. I just don't. That's not how college sports works. So it's really right now, depending on who you talk to in athletics, I think you're getting a lot of different answers and a lot of different speculation about how this is actually going to work, because the coaches I've talked to aren't very clear on what their orders are going to be. They just know that a lot of their competitors, they feel, are going to be finding workarounds, and that's what gives them a lot of concern.
Okay, I'm a top-flight quarterback. I want to go to USC, Bruce. Do I get paid by both the university and NIL money, or do I get just one or the other? How does that work?
Well, I think this is a good point, because let's say Bryce Young a few years ago won the Heisman, Southern California kid who went out to Alabama. From what I was told, the bulk of the money he was getting was not coming from Alabama. Now, he may have said to them, hey, look, pay some of my teammates. I can get a lot of money from Dr. Pepper, or I think in Caleb Williams' case, he was getting a lot of money, especially from American Airlines, and they did certain kind of national deals that can do that. I think those things are still going to be in play in terms of this, but you're going to have some schools that are going to have collectives, which is I think what you're alluding to from before, and some other schools are being told they can't. I mean, that's the part why the answers I've been getting, especially in today and yesterday, have been all over the map in terms of how some of these schools have been told. I mean, one of the head coaches I talked to said, I would have loved it if me and the other 63 Power 4 head coaches, along with our athletic directors, were all on a Zoom call with this new head of, this essentially compliance person who's going to be policing about all these deals. Because supposedly, you basically have 5 days for people to turn in the paperwork for these deals. And this guy was like, that's not realistic. That's just not going to happen. And there's a lot of skepticism about how many schools are going to turn this in. Do we have to track down all these agents who are doing these other deals? And what happens if they don't produce it? Because this was interesting to hear, but most of the head coaches I've talked to said they don't know all the deals that their players have, because a lot of them, happen outside of their universities.
Right. Yeah. But in the collective, we're talking to Bruce Feldman, who, of course, you can watch on TV working for Fox Sports, writes for The Athletic. And Bruce knows more about college football than anybody I know. The other story that broke over the weekend, Bruce, was this thing with EA Sports that we're trying to make sense out of, where they say they're going to pay schools based on how much each team is used when people play video games. Now, I'm not a gamer, but this is a multi-billion-dollar industry. They had 1.7 billion streams of EA College Football 26. Is that a big deal, a little deal? Or does it make sense to you? What's going on with that?
I think in the grand scheme of this is a littler deal that's a good way for their engagement. And I don't want to diminish that audience because, to be honest, John, I live with one now.
Yeah, Ben,
my 11-year-old is out of control. Not out of control, but he spends quite a bit of time on it. And the little rabbit holes of the way he finds out about the game, I think that is a huge audience, especially with teenagers and people probably under 25 all the way down to people his age. And so I think that's something that they're trying to ramp up, and that there's an audience there. I just don't think in relative to the rest of the money we're talking about, I don't think it's as big a deal, but I think it's a good marketing push that the video game is doing to ramp up attention for it.
Okay, so another thing I wanted to ask you about is that Mason and I are on different sides of this USC Notre Dame thing.
Yeah.
I want USC and Notre Dame to keep playing.
And I want to be in the college football playoff.
Right, but to be honest, Bruce, Mace is supporting what I think to be the Lincoln Riley position here, which is, hey, I'm going to get judged on whether or not I make the playoff, and I'm in a tough conference now that we moved to the Big Ten. Why do I want to play Notre Dame when they can hand me another loss? I get that, but I still want to protect the rivalry. I know this is a story you've covered closely. How do you think it's going to end up?
Oh, I feel like USC has been trying, some of the powers that be are trying to lean into this to make it more palatable. And, I'm sorry that Mason feels that way. I mean, you're USC.
Yes.
You've always taken pride in your traditions and being different and not taking the easy way out. And I think it makes a lot of USC people, like real longtime USC people, disgusted that they would back out of a Notre Dame rivalry. I mean, you can say, yes, the Big Ten is a much tougher league. The Big Ten is also a bloated conference. There's almost 20 teams in there. So what that means is, yeah, there are some top-level teams, Penn State, Oregon, Ohio State, typically Michigan sometimes. But the truth is they're not playing them every year.
Right.
I mean, if you look at the ranked teams USC played last year who finished in the top 25, they played less ranked teams when they were a Big Ten team than they did the previous 2 seasons and the last 2 seasons of the Pac-12. Right?
Yeah, but here's the thing, Bruce. So, by the way, all the old heads from USC they've been coming at me for weeks now.
As they should be.
But I will say that Oregon schedule that leads off with Montana State and doesn't really have a quality opponent looks pretty good. I'm looking at that Georgia schedule. Georgia's got their non-conference games are Marshall, Austin Peay, and Charlotte. I mean, seriously, they are scheduling to make the
Georgia
playoff.
Tech in there, though.
They do have Georgia Tech at the end of the year. You're right. They have Georgia Tech. But they're playing for the playoff, and I don't understand why you want, when you're playing in a tough conference, why do you want to add a game that you can potentially lose?
Because you're USC. You think
you're USC.
I mean, look,
we haven't been in the playoff for a long time. Well, of course, we are USC, unfortunately, in this particular scenario.
But I look, last year Georgia opened with Clemson. I mean, that was they blew Clemson out. My point to you would be this. If you're so worried about that you can't beat the middle of the conference to get enough to 9 wins or to 10 wins, if you can't beat the Nebraskas and the Wisconsins and the certainly like the Marylands and Rutgers and the rest of it, then you shouldn't be worried about being a playoff team. You're USC. If you're going to be really good,
Bruce,
you don't worry about it.
If you lose 2 or less, you're in. If you're from a big conference and you lose 2 or less, you're in. Is that true? So far, no two-loss team has missed.
Most likely.
So why do you want to add a game that you could potentially lose? You're not going to get any credit for playing Notre Dame because quality of schedule doesn't seem to matter anymore. So why play an extra tough game?
Well, you might, because that was the only thing that was making the case for Alabama to be anywhere near that. And they had 3 losses. And the teams they lost to, one of them was Vandy. That was not a great team.
Sure.
One of them was Oklahoma, which was terrible last year. My point is, if you're going to be good enough, you're going to be good enough. And if you're not, however you want to gerrymander your schedule, you're probably going to stumble somewhere along the way. And I just think if you're USC, you pride yourself on being like, this does not feel like something USC would have done back in the Pete Carroll days or back in the John McKay days or the John Robinson days.
Okay, so let me ask you. Obviously, Pete's not here. Neither is John Robinson. It's Lincoln Riley at the moment, and we don't necessarily have a sniff of the playoff, at least so far. Here's what I want to know, because I'm hearing really good things out of USC. Number 1 recruiting class for 2026. Apparently, they figured out the NIL. They've got Chad Bowden now as the general manager. He was the general manager for the Irish last year and seems to know what he's doing. What is going on over there? Are they recapturing that recruiting vibe that they had so many years with Pete?
Well, I think they have a lot of momentum right now, and it seems like they have been very aggressive on what they can spend and what they're going after recruits for. And I think once you get the momentum, now the key part is to keep it. And to keep the players you have committed. They had a couple of runs in the past, not that long ago, where they had a lot of kids, top players committed, and then either the classes started to fall apart or it started to dwindle. And I think that's the challenge. If the product on the field, if they go 7-5, I think that's one of the challenges you have is sustaining that.
Keeping the class together. Yeah.
Keeping the class together. And honestly, you have to develop players.
Yep.
I think that's one of the bigger concerns is we know Lincoln's been terrific when it comes to developing quarterbacks, and they've been really good at developing wide receivers. But beyond that, it's like this has not looked like USC used to when it comes to the defensive line, the offensive line. And that's the part where you got to develop players. I'm not saying they can't do it, but right now you mentioned it. It's been a long time since they've been really, really good. Sam Darnold was terrific, and they've had a bunch of good receivers. But I think USC has to find a way, not just to get those players, but to develop them.
Right. Put them to use.
And so we'll see.
Bruce, last thing for you is: it sounds like they're sticking with Jaden Maeva at quarterback, right? I mean, all these quarterbacks are moving, and USC went and got Caleb out of Oklahoma a few years ago. I thought they would probably do it again, but is that the plan, as far as you understand it? That the guy that finished last year?
I know they're excited about a young quarterback they have local, son Longstreet, who is an Elite 11 kid and talented. And my guess is they may have a package for him, but I think Maava's right now, he's had been there 2 years. He's had plenty of time in the system. And again, like they have a couple of big time receivers. We'll see how much better they can be on the offensive line. I think they'll be a little better on defense, but it's not like this is a team that's like dripping with like top 50 kind of NFL draft picks.
Right.
So again, I think Lincoln's shown he's really good with scheming up plays and taking advantage of what he can take advantage of. But everything I've heard is that it'll probably be Maava. And I don't think there's a ton of guys out there, grad transfer quarterbacks they could take post spring who would jump in and compete for a starting job. It's like whoever they got is whoever they got.
All right. Hey, Bruce, it's great to get you. As we get to college football season, I definitely want to get you back on. And John has to stop over later because he needs a cup of sugar.
But Bruce and I don't make those decisions.
No.
Yeah, Chrissy and Lisa are in charge.
We
We both married women that are in charge of our lives.
There you
so
go.
That stuff gets covered.
Bruce, thanks a lot for coming on, man.
Always a pleasure, guys. Thanks for having me.
See you, man.
Bruce Feldman, and I'm looking at the YouTube across the bottom, it says Bruce Feldman, John Ireland's neighbor.
Yeah, there you
It's
go.
perfect. All right, coming up next for you, the NFL player that is turning his back on $30 million, and can you be sued for a bad Yelp review? That is coming up next. In the meantime,
have you ever given a Yelp review?
I'll tell you.
Okay.
Coming up next. The NBA playoffs, the draft, free agency, the offseason, every moment of what the purple and gold do this offseason in history. We've got your dose of what's next for the Lakers. Thanks to Pro Baller, the official energy drink of the Los Angeles Lakers. All right. I'm going to talk to you about my friends at Tax Relief Advocates. Owing money to the IRS is overwhelming and it can totally weigh you down. And there are a lot of ads out there trying to scare you, confuse you. Listen, owing money to the IRS does not make you a bad person. Tax Relief Advocates knows this, and they want you to relax and breathe and take the first step and get out from under that additional pressure that you don't need. Whether you have $5,000, $50,000, $500,000 in tax debt, you don't have to fear the IRS one more day. The experts at TRA have a proven 3-step tax resolution process and knowledge of special programs available that can significantly reduce or even eliminate your IRS debt. It's easy to see why they got over 1,000 5-star ratings on Google and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Do this. End your tax nightmare. Get your life back on track. If you owe money to the IRS and you feel you got nowhere to turn, call Tax Relief Advocates today. Simply visit TRA.com or call 800-575-1482. That's 800-575-1482. One more time, 800-575-1482. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Sedano and Cap.
Today at 3 p.m. after Mason and Ireland.
They got it all hooked up at the Dodger games.
Really?
Yeah, they got great seats, like right down the third base line.
Beautiful.
Like good table right in front of them where you can have like cervezas.
Yeah. Oh, those seats.
And some aguas calientes.
Hot water?
No, what's the what did I have today?
Aguas calientes. I have family there.
What do I have? What did I have today? The shrimp. What did I have today?
Aguachiles.
Not aguas calientes. What did I have? Is that a casino?
Yeah. Agua Caliente by DeAndre's house.
Right. Yeah.
And then Aguas Calientes where my cousin lives in the state of Mexico.
Okay.
You're getting there, Cappy.
What did I eat today?
Shrimp.
No, but come on. No, I don't want the white guy version. What was it called?
DeAndre?
What was it called?
Aguachiles.
Aguachiles. See, now I got aguas calientes.
You were close, Cap.
I was very close. Aguachiles.
The LA Afternoon Takeover. That's Sedano and Cap.
On 710 ESPN.
Are you looking for a trusted roofing expert in Southern California? Journey Builders has you covered. This is Mike Trudell from ESPN LA. Journey Builders specializes in quality roof replacements for homes around the Southland. They'll ensure that your roof stands strong. ESPN LA listeners who call in today to book their free same-day inspection get $5,500 off their roof replacement. Journey Builders also offers financing. Call 888-607-8808 today. That's 888-607-8808 or go to journeybuildersinc.com.
All right, listen up. Whether you're out for a walk, hitting the gym, or just tackling your day, in this LA heat, chafing is no joke. Take my word for it. That's why you need Highlands Chafing Relief. This stuff is a game changer. Goes on like a cream, dries like a powder, and stays put even through sweat and water. No greasy mess, just all-day protection. If you've already got some chafing, Highlands soothes it fast with aloe, shea butter, and tea tree oil. Don't let chafing slow you down. Grab Highlands Chafing Relief at Walmart or Target right now.
ESPN LA is black and gold. Follow LAFC on the quest for trophies all season long. Every match, every pass, every goal.
Oh, Olivier! He drops to his knees and implores the heavens.
The home of LAFC is 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get tickets now
Look, I got a dog.
Ow. To the movie event of the summer.
You sure that's it, though? Yeah.
Rough. This Memorial Day, the summer starts with Stitch.
Adorable little psychopath.
Disney's Lilo and Stitch, rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. Now playing only in theaters.
And it is Mason and Otto in your Monday. You know, Mace likes to put on a clinic sometimes.
So watch how I do this, John. I'm going to put on a little clinic for you. Okay.
Exactly right. Mason and Ireland continues on 710 ESPN and always on the all-new ESPN LA app.
You can't touch this. You can't touch this.
Have you ever seen that documentary about Elizabeth Holmes?
Yeah.
This song reminds me of that documentary.
'Cause when she comes out?
She comes out and dances?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a weird
That is
reference, but...
By the way, that documentary is fascinating.
It's amazing.
And if you liked it, you should watch the Hulu series with Amanda Seyfried. It's so good, she's great in it.
Yeah.
It just goes to show you, if, you know, Elizabeth Holmes was attractive, great in the room,
could sell,
and because I firmly believe this, because she was young, blonde, and attractive, all the power brokers tried to help her.
Yeah, right.
And the next thing you knew, Bill Clinton and there was
George Schultz.
George Schultz was at the top.
David Boies
was on her board.
Yeah.
And she was lying the whole time.
I like the way we always joke about it. You know, she had that little container where she would hold it up like this, and she would call it a nanotainer. She had a
deep voice.
She had a very deep voice.
Yeah, but a fascinating documentary and
check out my nanotainer.
Really good show.
All right, so John, have you ever left a Yelp review?
I never have. I'm always afraid if I leave a Yelp review that it's going to come back to bite me. Like that the owner of the restaurant's going to track me down or that someone else is going to, like, let's put it this way. I would never leave a negative review.
Okay.
If I had a positive, Laura, it sounds like you leave a lot of negative ones.
No, I don't leave a lot.
But some.
Brian, do you
I've
leave
left
Yelp
like
reviews?
2.
I think I've left maybe like 3 or 4
Oh, he
total in
beats
my
me.
life.
See?
All negative?
1 negative. Yeah.
Do you ever read?
I do.
Oh, yes.
I always
Every
read
now
Yelp
and then,
before I go somewhere, or TripAdvisor, or any of those recommendations,
Which is
like
weird,
especially
which
for
surprises
traveling.
me about you because you go to more movies than anybody I know, and you never read reviews before you go.
Yeah, I don't
That's
want to.
the one cultural blind spot you have. You don't want to
That
affect
is true.
movies.
I want to be surprised. I don't want to
Okay.
know everything about the movie when I walk in the door. But here is a case in Tampa where somebody left a Yelp review for a restaurant. It's called Hale's Black Brick. They specialize in innovative, inspired, seasonal new Asian food, and they have filed a lawsuit against Irene Eng after she left a 1-star review following her visit in December of 2023. She said the lamb chops were dry and a bunch of stuff. It's not an especially negative review.
Do you know, has anyone ever successfully sued a Yelp reviewer? Is this a new thing?
At this point, this is new.
Okay.
But a restaurant once tried to bully somebody who left a bad review online. In February of this year, the owner of a ramen shop, made news when he placed a cash bounty on the heads of customers who left a negative review for his restaurant.
That doesn't sound legal.
Laura, how negative are your reviews when you write them down?
What? I'm so sorry.
How negative are your reviews?
No, I've only had one really bad negative
I want
one.
you to read a really bad negative review.
Do you have? Can
Do
you
you have
pull
one?
up?
Can you find one? I want to hear a really bad negative review from Laura. You don't have
Okay,
to
hold
say
on.
the exact name of the business.
Let me go to
Yeah,
Yelp.
matter of fact, I would recommend you don't. Or you might
say
get
it.
sued.
No, we should do Radio Yelp. We should do Radio Yelp one day. People could just call in.
I
and
love
say,
that idea.
This restaurant's
too.
fantastic. That restaurant's terrible. I'd stay there. I wouldn't stay there. Radio Yelp would be a fun thing.
How do I find my reviews that I've left?
I don't know. It's
We don't
just
have-
an idea.
Yeah.
All right, so this is a crazy story. So Derek Carr has retired. Was quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. Had a big contract, required surgery, and what Derek Carr has decided to do is to just walk away. He says
Now keep in mind, had he just had the surgery and not walked away, they would have had to pay him for the entire year.
Correct, $30 million. So he says he didn't feel right about taking the Saints' money. Now, is this dumb? Is this ethical? Is this too ethical?
For me, it's too ethical.
Too ethical.
Here's why.
Overly ethical.
Here's my argument.
Yes.
If I was representing Derek Carr, okay, or if I was his brother and he asked me my opinion, because his brother was an NFL
David,
quarterback,
sure.
and they said, "Hey, if I have this surgery and I need it, I'm going to miss the entire season, and I don't know if I could come back the following season. It's that serious of a surgery. Should I just retire?" What I would say to him is, you negotiated this contract.
Yep.
The reason you're in pain, the reason you have this surgery is because you played and you got hurt on the job.
Yep.
I would get the surgery from an NFL doctor because they would hire the best doctors in the world.
Rehabilitation with an NFL
in their rehab facility and see how you feel at the end of the year. And I wouldn't feel guilty about taking their money at all. Would you?
Hell no. I would do it. And
I
by
mean,
the
it's
way,
admirable.
And it is admirable. It is admirable. Yeah, but I think at the end of the day, why not be under the care of really, really good doctors and physicians and
you might feel
rehab
great
people.
after they fix your shoulder and play for another
you may
5
say,
years.
yeah, what the hell? It's amazing. He's too ethical. Too ethical.
Yeah, I think unless in his heart he knew he was retiring. Like he said, I'm anxious to get on with the rest of my life. Then more power to you. But if he's just retiring because he felt guilty taking their money, the Saints are owned by the Benson family. They're billionaires.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know they're going to give that money to somebody.
Somebody's
Why not
getting
you?
it. Exactly. All right, coming up next for you, one MLB Hall of Famer has a suggestion for the Dodgers about Shohei Ohtani, and I have a suggestion to the Dodgers about Shohei Ohtani, too. We will do that coming up next. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
So you want to play in the 710 Listener Game on All-Star Friday night, Friday, July 11th in West Covina? Of course, the Listener Game made possible by our friends, the law offices of Joseph S. Normand. Here's what you got to do. You got to come to Island Boy on Wednesday in West Covina to sign up in person so you can play in the 710 Listener Game. Islands, West Covina, Mason and Ireland's at Island Cap broadcasting live. Be there Wednesday and sign up to play in the 710 Listener Game. Thanks to Joseph S. Normand. We'll see you out in West Covina on Wednesday, Jack.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. We are ranked number 18 in the nation and number 1 in Orange County for orthopedic and spine care by U.S. News & World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there. which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
Don't navigate the legal system alone. Hey, it's Travis. At the personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand, they will fight tirelessly to get you the max compensation you deserve. Joe and his team understand the emotional and financial toll that an injury can take on you and your life. Call 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand have helped thousands of people like you recover millions of dollars in settlements and verdicts. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. Your recovery is their priority.
Inheriting a home can be overwhelming. Between repairs and the time it takes to get everything ready to sell, it can feel like more trouble than it's worth. That's where Seller's Advantage comes in. One real customer who inherited a home shared their experience, and I quote, "We had an inheritance from a relative. It would have taken us a lot of time, money, and headaches to get the property in shape to sell. I heard about Seller's Advantage from a radio commercial and decided to give them a try. Their offer was reasonable, and we accepted it. They took care of all the physical effort and legal complexities. We closed within 3 weeks. I would highly recommend them to anyone," end quote. No matter what your reason for selling, call Seller's Advantage today at 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-2747, or use the website sellersadvantage.com for your free, no obligation cash offer. Sellersadvantage.com.
DRE number 01961658.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Oh my God, is this your house?
This is the humble abode.
Oh my God, it's so humble.
FX presents Adults.
You don't know your social security number?
No, I do. It's just my mom knows the whole thing.
A new comedy about 20-somethings achieving zero anythings.
What is the worst that happens? I go broke. I can't pay my loans. I start an OnlyFans, but only you guys subscribe.
I can't do OnlyFans.
Yeah, you wouldn't make it on there, so sorry.
FX's Adults. Wednesdays on FX. All episodes streaming on Hulu.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
And it is Mason and Ireland, your Monday. On this show, we like to make fun of when other people make mistakes. Often.
Also tonight, a big night for Pacer fans as Indiana is in the NBA Finals.
Yeah, we know. We're just watching them.
Who has seen a boost from the Yes Sir.
Oh, and we could see a little fog overnight tonight. We'll have the very latest forecast.
Big concern. Thanks for staying up with us. I'm Amara Boss. Fort Wayne's most watched news start.
SGA Garner starts later. It starts later. They go back to the game.
Okay, tell you something. I worked in TV news for almost 30 years. Somebody's getting fired.
You think so?
For
yeah,
sure.
Somebody.
Because we never make mistakes on this show. No.
None.
More
None.
of Mason and Ireland, your Monday on 710 ESPN. And always, you can watch the show on YouTube at ESPN Los Angeles.
And we might be getting fired at the end of the month.
By the way, if we make mistakes, we play them back always.
Yeah.
We all own them.
Because the mistakes are
Maybe they're putting
the funny
together
part.
a sizzle reel of all our mistakes, so when they blow us out, they can just say,
No.
"Here's why we got rid of
That's
these
it.
losers."
Here's the reel.
Yeah, there you go.
Still, the countdown's on June the 9th.
Aw, you guys are good.
Emery, who are your favorite Dodger players?
Moody Bats, Fifth Potani, Fifth
And who else?
Kike Hernandez.
I would not that I want Kirsten Watson to take a day off because I really like her.
Yeah.
But if she needs one, let's hire that girl.
There you go. She knows her players for sure. Yeah, try to find her. I want to mention it's a Michelob Ultra Reaction Monday, reacting to the NBA Finals Game 2 last night. OKC rolled Indiana. You can listen to every Finals game this week on 710 and the all-new ESPN LA app, thanks to Michelob Ultra. Refreshing and balanced flavor with only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Please play responsibly. Shohei Ohtani, sometime in the second half of the season, is going to come back to pitch. He's throwing a sim game tomorrow, so he stays on schedule. He actually got hit in the foot yesterday in that game, and he's fine. But they pushed his sim game back one day. Here's what David Ortiz says about how Shohei Ohtani should be used when he returns.
I would like to have him coming in, taking somebody's deep a couple of times during the game, and then come and shut down everybody like that, like he did in the WBC.
You want him to close?
Yes.
That's what he did against striking out Mike Trout, his teammate at the time.
That's right.
So let me tell you, of all the things that Shohei Ohtani might do, could possibly do, closing is not one of them. He is never going to be a closer on this team.
Why?
Because he comes from that Japanese system. Every 6 days, you want to put him in a habit, in a rotation, so that he knows what's coming. Ultimately, John, you need him as a hitter every game.
Right.
So you don't want to throw him off by saying, all right, ninth inning, 3 nights in a row.
He's done it his whole life. Now, think about it this way. I think you're thinking about this the wrong way. You're in a 7-game series.
Right.
Okay? You could pitch him in every game.
Yeah, but I don't think you need him as a hitter. I don't think you pitch
I'm not taking him out of the hitting lineup.
Yeah, but I don't think you throw him more than, I mean, I think you could pitch him game 1, game 5.
Right, but
I don't think you would pitch him every game.
Well, who was the guy that the series you went to in Houston? The Dodgers pitched him every.
Diaz.
No.
Pitched
Brandon
Morrow.
Yeah, they pitched
Brandon
him in every
Morrow,
game.
Yeah. Well, he was a setup guy. He wasn't a closer.
But
he was a setup
Brian,
guy,
you know where I'm going here, right? You could pitch him in, like, you either use him to close every game or you just use him to pitch the 7th inning every game, and he's already in your lineup.
Let me ask you this: what's their biggest need right now?
Starting pitcher.
Thank you.
But
they don't need a closer right now.
Hold
they
on.
need a starting pitcher.
No. I think you're looking at this the wrong way. Their biggest need is they got to get 27 outs every game. If he's going to get 6 of them, or 3 of them even, why not use him over a 7-game series in all 7 games?
I just don't think this is some rubber-armed guy you can throw every night in a World. Brian, do you think?
I don't, but if there's one man that could do it, it is Ohtani.
I mean, it's an exciting idea, right?
Right.
Like, I could see him on the mound for the final 3 outs of a World Series
pulling
game.
like a Kershaw, Buehler, Urias did.
Thing. Yeah, Urias, those guys. But I just cannot imagine him being a closer. And especially now, I mean, TBD and Justin Robleski are 2 of their 5 starters.
Yeah.
So they have a need at starting pitcher. They did get Kopech and Kirby Yates back, which gives them a much more complete bullpen when they get to the end of the game, and we saw that yesterday. All right, coming up next for you, get to some Game of Games. It is John Ireland's game today. Is there any preview, John?
No.
Okay.
No, by the way, Laura, I won again on Friday. Put it on the board.
I was told. So you got 3 wins. You're kicking everybody's butt.
Yeah, but now I'm leaving. I'm going to Idaho tomorrow.
Ho-hum.
Oh, that's true.
So you guys can all catch up.
Oh, that's
and
right.
This is a anybody can win this game.
Okay, good.
There is no favorite in this game.
All right. In the meantime, this is an ad for BetterHelp. So men today face immense pressure to perform, to provide, to keep it all together. And it's no wonder that 6 million men in the U.S. suffer from depression every year. And a lot of times it goes undiagnosed. It's okay to struggle. We all have those moments. I've had those moments in my life. But real strength comes from opening up about what you're carrying, what you're doing about it, so you can be at your best for yourself and for everybody in your life. So I've gone through stretches. You know, I've had, and I know you guys have too. I've had stretches where I was depressed or anxious or just the world coming at you, all that stuff. If you're having that issue right now, BetterHelp has over 35,000 therapists right now. They're the world's largest online therapy platform. They've served over 5 million people globally. It's convenient. You can join a session with a therapist at the click of a button. If you're feeling it, listen, mental health is health. Talk about it with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/timeout. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Travis Rogers and DeMarco Farr.
Back tomorrow at 9 a.m. after Clinton and Friends.
No, how can you be thinking about me with oysters and champagne, man? This is what I'm talking
I know
about.
that you have an oyster and champagne phobia, and so I was trying to...
I do not have an oyster and champagne phobia. I'm just not having oysters and champagne with you.
I had oysters for lunch, and where Susan and I are sitting there, I'm like, you need to step out of this picture for a second and get the champagne flutes set up there, and I'm like, I'm going to send it to DeMarco.
Wow. Okay, well, I hope you had fun.
We had a great time.
There you go. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I do not need to be there.
Yeah, we had a great time. It was
You're just on his mind when he's there.
I'm not kidding you. I waited. So we ordered the oysters, and it took them a minute to bring the wine. And Susan's like, well, why aren't you eating them? And I'm like, because I need the wine in the picture to send it to Marco.
You're waiting.
There's no point in sending the picture if we don't have it. They were delicious.
The presentation was outstanding.
That's part of the charm.
Weekday mornings at 9 a.m.
It's Travis and DeMarco
on 710 ESPN.
Are you looking for a trusted roofing expert in Southern California? Journey Builders has you covered. This is Mike Trudell from ESPN LA. Journey Builders specializes in quality roof replacements for homes around the Southland. They'll ensure that your roof stands strong. ESPN LA listeners who call in today to book their free same-day inspection get $5,500 off their roof replacement. Journey Builders also offers financing. Call 888-607-8808 today. That's 888-607-8808. Or go to journeybuildersinc.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
So you want to play in the 710 Listener Game? An All-Star Friday night, Friday, July 11th in West Covina? Of course, the Listener Game made possible by our friends, the law offices of Joseph S. Normand. Here's what you got to do. You got to come to Island Boy on Wednesday in West Covina to sign up in person so you can play in the 710 Listener Game. Islands, West Covina, Mason and Ireland's at Island Cap broadcasting live. Be there Wednesday and sign up to play in the 710 Listener Game. Thanks to Joseph S. Normand. We'll see you out in West Covina on Wednesday, Jack.
710 ESPN.
And it is time for Game of Games on the #1 sports radio show in LA, Mason and Ireland. Game of Games. Game of Games presented by CallJacob.com.
Call Jacob.
Everyone loves a fighter, but in this town, winning matters, especially after an accident. So remember, anyone can fight, but CallJacob.com is here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to CallJacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. We got the jingle.
Call Jacob.
Thank you. Game of Games time. Take it away, Mace.
All right, here we go. It is Game of Games time. And
we have a dilemma.
Yeah, this is weird.
Okay, so for the first time ever, and we've been doing Game of Games for about 5 years, everyone in Sedano and Cap is refusing to come to play Game of Games.
To their.
No, I don't care.
Okay.
So we are debating we should refuse to go on Super Crosstalk.
Oh.
They are prepping for their show.
Yeah, so.
They prep?
Yes.
Have you heard Kaplan?
They do prep.
Yeah. No, it's just
so we'll debate
whether
or not.
So I texted Sedano and Cap and I said, hey, can you guys jump in for a game? They're like, sorry, Queen, we're still prepping. How about Funchy? So I did ask Funch and DeAndre, and they both said they're prepping.
Are they both here?
Yeah.
And they both said no?
Yes, because they're prepping.
They're dead.
They're dead to us.
They're dead to us.
They're banned.
DeAndre's banned. And Funch is banned.
They're both banned from Game of Games forever.
Yeah, banned. Period. Done. End of story.
You know that you are giving them what they want.
Period.
Okay.
No. They're banned.
Let that sink in.
Wait,
none.
And I think we might ban Sedano and Cap.
Nah, we can't.
Well, we're not going to be here in 3 weeks.
They do a show. Right, true. We're winding down.
I mean, what difference does it make? Okay.
Okay.
So 3 players.
I got a good shot at this one now.
Yeah, you do. All right, Brian Cohen, Mo and Steve Mason.
Yes.
I have a list of 10 names. Okay. Each one is either a hooper.
Okay.
Someone who's currently playing in the NBA Finals.
Oh, in the finals. Okay.
A hacker. Someone who's in the U.S. Open this weekend. U.S. Open golf tournament this weekend.
Good.
Or a hockey player. Someone who's currently in the Stanley Cup
Oh, nice.
Finals.
Okay, good.
All
This
right,
is
so
great.
that's the game.
Okay.
Hooper, hacker, or hockey player.
Perfect.
All right, here we go.
All right.
Number 1, Matthew Pavone. Matthew Pavone. Brian, hooper, hacker, or hockey player?
Hacker.
Okay, Laura.
I'm with Brian Hacker.
Mace.
I'm going hockey.
It's a hacker. He's in the U.S. Open.
That
this
sounds
weekend.
like it.
Brian,
Yep.
did you know?
Complete guess.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
complete guess. Okay.
It's a name.
All right.
The name.
Number 2, Laura. This one coming to you.
Okay.
Sam Reinhart. Sam Reinhart. Hooper, hacker, or hockey player?
I'll go. Wait, what was the name? Sorry.
Sam Reinhart.
I'll go hockey.
Okay, Mace.
I'll go hockey.
Brian.
I'll go hockey as well.
He plays for the Panthers. You all got that one. Brian and Laura 2, Mace 1. Mace,
Okay.
this one to you.
All right.
Johnny Furphy. Furphy. Johnny Furphy.
I'm going
Hooper, hacker, or
Hacker,
hockey player.
hacker.
Okay, you're going hacker. Brian.
Hockey.
Hockey. Laura.
I am going hockeys.
Y'all missed it. He plays for the Pacers.
Oh!
He's a hooper.
What's his name?
Johnny Furphy.
Johnny
He's on the bench
Furphy.
for
What
the
a-
Pacers.
Oh, that makes sense.
Furphy.
Okay.
Sounds like
Laura, this one back
Furby.
to you.
a furry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Laura, Seth Jones. Seth Jones. Hooper, hacker, or hockey player?
I feel like this is such a trick question, but I'm going to go Hooper.
Okay. Mace.
I'm going Hooper.
Brian.
I'll take a hacker.
You guys did it again. He's a hockey player. He plays for the Panthers. Scored a goal in game 2. All right. Brian 2, Laura 2, Mace 1. Laura, this one coming to you. Cameron Smith. Cameron Smith. Hooper, hacker, or hockey player?
I'll try Hooper.
Okay, Mace.
I'll try hacker.
Brian.
Hooper.
Steve Mason has tied the
I
game.
did
Cameron
know that
Smith is a hacker who actually won a major.
Yeah, no, he's really good.
He won a major, then he went to live and took the money.
Oh, there you go.
All right, so
And so he disappeared.
Yeah, 2-2. All right, back to you, Brian. Connor Carrick. Connor Carrick. Hooper, hacker, or hockey player?
Hockey player.
Okay, Laura.
Hacker.
Mace.
Hockey.
He is a hockey player, and Brian and Mace have tied for the lead. All right, Laura, this one coming to you.
Okay.
Dylan Jones. Dylan Jones. Hooper, hacker, or hockey player?
I'll go Hooper.
Okay, Mace.
Hooper.
Brian.
Hooper.
He is a hooper. Did you guys all know that?
Yes,
Yes,
I did.
He plays for the Thunder. Okay. Next one. Mace 4, Brian 4, Laura 3. Mace. Taylor Pendrith. Taylor Pendrith. Hooper, hacker, or hockey player?
Hacker.
Okay, Brian.
Hockey.
Laura.
Hacker.
He is a hacker, and Mace has the lead. Mason 5, Brian 4, Laura 4. So it's close. All right, how many are left? 1, 2 left. Mace, you got to go first. Brandon Carlson. Brandon Carlson, Mace. Hooper, hacker, or hockey player?
Hockey.
All right, he's going hockey. Brandon Carlson, Brian. Hooper, hacker, or hockey player? You're one down.
Hacker.
Mace, what'd you say?
Hockey.
Okay. Laura. Brandon Carlson. Hooper, hacker, or hockey player?
Yeah, what the hell. Hooper.
You'll be glad you did. He plays for the Thunder. And Laura has tied the game.
Okay.
So, one left.
This is for everything.
It is. Laura has 5.
Yep.
Mace has 5.
Yep.
Brian has 4. So,
Okay.
Brian, you got to go opposite if you can. Laura,
Yes, sir.
Eric Van Rooyen. Eric Van Rooyen. Hooper, hacker, or hockey player?
I'll go hockey.
All right, Mace.
Here's the thing.
You could take her to overtime if you go hockey.
I really like I'm gonna crush Laura in this tiebreaker. I will say hockey. What'd you say?
I said hockey.
And I will say hockey.
Okay, Brian, do you want to go?
You will, by the way.
You want to go hacker or hooper? Eric Van Ruyen.
Hacker.
He might be a hacker.
He is a hacker! Three-way tie.
I'm screwed.
Yeah, we didn't need the other person to create drama.
Oh, God.
All right. The tiebreaker.
Oh, Laura's so good
I
at
actually
these.
have two of these.
So bad.
Okay.
But I'll do the first one. If the first one solves it, we're done. All
Okay.
right. Everybody got something to write with?
Yep.
Everybody got something to write on?
Yeah.
All right. The two highest paid players in the NBA Finals this year are Tyrese Halliburton and Pascal Siakam. They each make the exact same amount this year. What is that amount? How much money is Tyrese Halliburton being paid this year? And it's not an even number, so do point something. That's my hint to you.
Okay.
All right? How much money is Tyrese Halliburton being paid this year? Mace, do you have a number?
It's a combination of the two,
No.
right?
Oh,
it's
no,
just
not-
Tyrese
One guy.
Halliburton.
I'm looking for the
Got it.
the annual salary of either Tyrese
Got it.
Halliburton
Got
and
it.
Pascal Siakam. So, for example, Austin Reeves makes $15 million this year.
Right.
Okay, these two guys make more. All right, Laura, what'd you write down?
All right. 20.2 mil.
$20.2 million. Brian, what'd you write down?
That was exactly what I wrote down as well. 20.2.
I have
No.
a second tiebreaker in case you guys win it, but Mace,
I
what'd
wrote
you write?
39.
The correct answer. $42.2
Oh,
million.
Mace.
Steve Mason is your winner.
Nice. Mace, it was your day.
That's what I'm talking about. We don't need a fourth player in here. It improves my odds. It's kind of like getting Notre
All right.
Dame off the USC schedule, right?
There you go.
Eliminate a
All
player.
right, so what? Let me update. Who is banned? Who said no?
DeAndre's banned.
DeAndre's banned.
But they did say no because
Funchess
they're,
is banned.
Funch is banned. DeAndre and Funch are banned.
they said that they're prepping, so that's why they couldn't. And obviously
Sedano and Cap
too.
banned.
And Lindsay, did she pass
Lindsay
also?
just doesn't want
Okay,
to
so
play.
Lindsay passed, Funch passed,
Banned.
DeAndre passed.
Banned.
Yeah, those are
We're like
bans.
Mocha Joe.
Yep.
We're banning everybody.
Yep.
I need
Sorry, guys.
players, guys, so don't be banning my players that I need sometimes.
Yeah.
No. We'll bring in listeners before we'll bring in one of those people.
By the way, Game of Games is brought to you by Jacob Imrani. Everybody loves a fighter. In this town, winning matters, especially after an accident. So anybody can fight, but Jacob is here for you when you need a big win after an accident. Go to calljacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. I don't know if you noticed this or not, John, but over the weekend, at the Belmont Stakes, which were won by
Yeah, that guy who
Sovereignty.
had the horse that can't lose finished. That horse finished third.
But you know who won? Scott Kaplan in the mile. His horse, Raging Torrent, won one of the prelim races.
Did you or did he bet on it?
I don't know if he bet on it, but they won $1 million in that race.
So he's got a little spending.
I think they call it the Met Mile. He won $1 million, and he told me that the horse is now worth $5 million. And we had a chance to buy into that sucker.
And
You
we
kidding me?
didn't.
And we didn't.
Yeah, that's because when you and I bought a horse, it was a money sucking.
So I have wanted to do it, and Juan is like, nope. Nope.
I'm with Juan.
That's called a trip to Hawaii, is what that's
yeah,
called.
I'm with Juan. I don't want any more bills from a horse.
Don't you think
dentist.
it seems fun?
Well, if you want to do it, do it.
I think it's fun to have some action in real life.
No guts, no glory.
Yeah.
Cap's got a bunch of money. Hey, by the way, I want to sneak this in here before we broke. Did you see? Remember last week, Jared Verse called out Aaron Donald and said, "Hey, I want to go work out with this guy that's supposedly like the greatest workout beast ever. Let's see what he's got." So it happened over the weekend, and Jared Verse now completely backpedaling.
Oh, really?
He said, he goes, I never should have challenged a legend. He ran circles around me, and they took a picture afterwards, and Jared Verse is dripping in sweat, and Aaron Donald's just smiling.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Aaron Donald, I mentioned this last week, but one of the games I was at USC this year, Aaron Donald was on the field. And I mean, he is like chiseled. He is just chiseled. And by the way, I'm going to show you one more picture since we got a minute here. You have been insistent that you don't see a difference in Luka from last season.
I know the picture you're going to show me. This does not show that he's thin.
You'd think this doesn't show that he's thin.
I absolutely do not. It's a picture of a guy sitting in a chair. How can you tell if he's fat or skinny? He's sitting in a chair.
Jawline. Look at his jawline. He has a jawline. He doesn't in the first picture. He does in the second.
Yeah, that doesn't. Brian, can you see that picture?
Yeah, I saw these pictures.
He has a jawline.
The jawline, you can, but I'm to John's point, you can't really tell.
The guy's sitting down.
No,
How
I'd
can I
say-
tell? Have you
I'd
ever,
say he's
you
lost-
never had this happen to you? You see a girl in a restaurant and she's sitting down. You go, wow, that girl's really pretty. And then she gets up. You're like, whoops.
Yeah, John, I say he's lost 12
I
pounds.
jumped the gun on
he's
that.
down 12 pounds.
I hope you're right.
Yeah, I think that's the case.
I hope you're right, but he is. You cannot tell if
You can
someone
definitely
is
tell
fat
from this
or
picture.
skinny when they're sitting down.
Yeah, if you see their whole body, you can.
Yeah.
Thin Luca. All right, coming up next for you, going to do some super crosstalk. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
You never have to miss a moment of LA's mega sports station. Get the all-new ESPN LA app.
Just search ESPN LA in your App Store or Google Play.
Download, tap, and bam!
You got 710 ESPN in the palm of your hand.
Hey, DeMarco Farr here. Join the club at Pechanga Resort Casino. New club members who sign up receive a $25 resort credit as well as a chance to win $100 in bonus credit. Enjoy perks like earning club dollars with every bet, invitations to exclusive promotions and events, and much, much more. Visit the club at Pechanga to sign up and start receiving benefits right away. Your perfect entertainment resort and casino combination is available at Pechanga. Voted the best Southern California casino.
Post Malone presents the Big Ass Stadium Tour. 9-time Diamond Certified and 16-time Grammy Award nominated phenomenon, Post Malone. His biggest headline tour, live at SoFi Stadium June 19th. Global superstar Post Malone with Jelly Roll and special guests Wyatt Flores and Chandler Walters. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. ESPN LA 710 and Children's Dental Fun Zone present the T-Ball Tee-Off, part of ESPN LA's All-Star Friday Night, happening Friday, July 11th at West Covina Sportsplex. From 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., kids ages 7 to 12 will take the field to showcase their big swings. Meet ESPN LA talent, win prizes, and enjoy a morning of fun. Limited spots are available. Sign up now at ESPNLA.com. Thanks to our friends at Children's Dental Fun Zone. Sparkling smiles, happy kids.
KSPN AM 710 Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM, Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Sedano and Cap to join Mason and Ireland?
Super Crosstalk begins.
Super Crosstalk. Presented by Coors Light. Coors Light. Made to chill.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
It's F-It Monday!
So, Cap, you came into a little money over the weekend.
Guys, I'm telling you right now, if you guys would have listened to me a year ago.
I know.
You know how many,
why should we start now?
You know how many new massage chairs you guys would have?
I know. God, good for you. So the horse is called Raging Torrent. Was it the Met Mile? Is that what they call it?
Correct, the Met Mile.
And you were facing like two of the best pound-for-pound horses in the world, right?
I mean, that's the way it was described during the Fox national television broadcast, that these two other horses, one was called Fierceness, and the other one was called the White Abara. I hope I'm saying his name right. I keep screwing it up. But that these two were considered two of the best horses, the way they said it, in training.
Right.
Meaning any horse anywhere on the planet that is in training for racing, these two were considered the best of the best.
And your horse went wire to wire, right?
Wire to wire.
Nice.
So, Cappy, this is what they said. This was $1 million race. Is that the entirety of the purse, or as the winning horse, does your horse get $1 million?
No, it's the entirety of the purse. So the purse gets divided. So, like the winning horse takes $550,000 of the $1 million.
Not bad.
Then what you do is you pay the jockey 10%, and you pay the trainer 10%. So subtract 110,000 from 550,000, and you're in the 440 range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is split among how many of your owners?
We probably have in this group probably about 20 people.
Okay, so they all get now. Do you all get a payout, or do you just take the money you won and reinvest it?
Yeah, so the money stays in the stable.
Yeah. Okay.
And then at the end of the calendar year, so call it December of this year, whatever we're left with, that's when people will get distributions. But here's the thing. Let's say the horse, which had a value of $2.75 million going into the race, having won that race and automatically qualified now for the Breeders' Cup Championship, which is down in Del Mar in October, the estimated value of the horse right now is over $5 million.
Wow.
So that's when everybody gets paid.
Right. So in let's say December, we decide to sell the horse to a breeder, for example, who now wants to make other champion babies, That breeder, let's say, pays $5-6 million. Then you take the $6 million and you take our share of it and you divide it amongst the investors. $20,000 last year, guys, would have turned into $25,000. You roll your $25,000 in this year, you'd be sitting on probably $45-50 grand right now.
Oh, so $50 grand. That's pretty good, man. That's
good money.
amazing. That's amazing. So
Good for you.
How many spots you got this year?
How many spots do we have available right now?
Yeah.
0.
Oh, you're full.
You missed your window.
The Good Friends stable is completely full, not accepting new members.
I don't know what the Good Friends stables are doing.
Isn't that what you're called?
No, we're called the Great Friends stables.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know lesser friends, good friends, as opposed to great friends. I knew I was close. I was in the ballpark.
Gosh, I would have loved to have had you guys in this horse.
Wouldn't it be fun? I would have gone to New York. Why didn't you go to New York?
Because on Friday night we had an event down at Park
that's
West
right.
High School Casino.
By the way, I heard that was fantastic.
Oh my God, guys, it was crazy.
Packed,
I mean, it was
right?
it was off the charts packed. There were so many people there on Friday night that security had to start moving people around the casino because the lines were so long that they became where other customers could not get through and get to where they were trying to get to. So security was moving lines of people. There were, I don't know how many, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 million people, I suppose, were there?
4 million people you think showed up at the bite for that tournament?
Think about
how did you play?
So
I heard you played with Bergman, right?
Bergman and I played. Have you guys ever played in a blackjack tournament before?
No. How's it work?
So here's how it works. You have a full table of people, right? And they deal you 10 hands. Okay. So everybody has the same amount of money. So everybody starts with $5,000 in chips.
Yep.
They're mythical chips, to put it in your language, right?
Yep.
So $5,000 in chips, and whoever has the most at the end, that person moves on.
Got it.
So you'd be wise to bet as much as you wanted to because it's fake money.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I see that now.
So what happened is after dealing 10 hands, the guy across from me had $21,000. I had $18,000.
So you were eliminated?
He moved on. I was eliminated, which was fine by me because let me tell you something. They've got a sushi bar.
Oh, yeah?
At the bike.
And you went straight to the bar.
Yeah. It was amazing. The food was world class. I know that sounds like a big exaggeration. I mean, insane. And the owner, Mr. Park himself, he wanted this sushi bar, so he went and hired his favorite sushi chef from the sushi restaurant that was his favorite place.
Yes.
And he stocked the place with all this high-end sake.
Wow.
Oh, dude, we were eating and drinking like kings, man.
Oh, beautiful. So I don't know if... So, yeah, that was your Friday. You know what my Friday night was?
Tell me.
So I go to one of my favorite bar, and I ordered first. They were serving up a fancy craft cocktail, an amaretto sour. And I thought, okay, that's good. I'll try an amaretto sour.
And they're off in the Hillendale
Then I had some sort of tall
Metropolitan
thing with a lot of ice and a lot of rum. Delicious.
Okay.
Then I went back and got an old-fashioned.
Okay.
And the
There's
pour
3 drinks?
Yeah, the pour was very heavy.
3 different drinks, though, Cap. He was mixing.
Yeah,
Wow.
I went bourbon, rum, bourbon.
Okay.
And I got so effing sick. On the floor at my house, just retching. I mean, it was, and I can't figure out, it couldn't have been the drinks, could it? John says, well, it's because you went dark, light, dark, but I can't imagine that leads to an hour on the bathroom floor.
Yeah, no, of course. Why? What'd you eat before that?
I didn't eat anything.
Okay.
That could have been part of the problem.
Yeah, that didn't
But I'm with John. I'm with Johnny
I also think they put absinthe in one of the drinks, and I think the absinthe I might be allergic to absinthe.
Oh, really? That's what you think, huh?
This is
Well,
just.
you didn't want to cut your ear off.
I
did
looked it up on WebMD, and it says I might have absinthe poisoning. But I had a rough Friday night, and it carried into Saturday. So it was a rough weekend. Although I did not have the kind of weekend you did, Cappy. I did not have a gigantic celebratory 4 million people at the bike, followed by winning the Met Mile. You had the weekend of all weekends.
It was a great weekend, and I'll tell you what was even cooler about the whole thing was, usually these races take place on like TVG.
Yeah, right.
They're not like big races where they are on national TV. Fox was televising the Belmont.
Yep.
So they had, Kurt Menefee and Carissa Thompson. Like, they had their A-list talent to cover this event, and it was on national TV. And to see our horse win a race of that magnitude on national TV was so cool, man.
Yeah, that is cool.
So cool.
What an amazing day.
Now, Mace, I thought what you were going to say about Friday night was when you said you went to one of your favorite bars.
Yep.
I will tell you guys, about 11 o'clock on Friday night, I'd gotten home at this point, and I get a text from Dave McMenamin.
McTen.
And not like Dave and I text each other on Friday night at 11 o'clock. Like, hey, bro, what are you doing right now? What's up? So Dave winds up telling me, and he didn't say, hey, this is not for air. So I'm going to say it. He said to me, he goes, I met a good buddy of yours tonight at a bar, one of my favorite bars in Venice. And I said, oh, yeah? Who'd you meet? I thought he was like jerking me my chain. I thought he was going to tell me that he ran into you, Mace.
Yeah, no.
He goes, I met your buddy, Deacon Fry.
Was he at the Whaler in Venice?
I don't know.
That's like a regular Dave McMenamin. Well, we got him drunk at the Whaler one night.
And he barely got out of there.
He barely got out of there. It's a great dive bar. Is that where he met? I wonder where he met Deacon.
So he met Deacon, and then I texted Deacon. I'm like, yo, I got it because I want to connect those guys. Because just like we're all so interested in meeting like rock stars,
yep,
they are all so interested in meeting, in particular, ESPN, NBA personalities. Because while we might want to talk to them about, because I don't know if you guys heard this, but when we got to the bike on Friday, they gave gift bags for everybody. I believe there were some for you fellas.
We just got them. Very nice. Yeah, Paul Kim, I think, is the one that sent those over.
He goes by the nickname PK. He's a comedian, but he also works there, and he's a great guy. And he got me this album. He got me like an Eagles LP.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of didn't realize that it was all going to come up like that on Friday night, where I got this brand new Eagles LP, and then McMenamin was going to tell me, hey, I met your boy Deacon. And then Deacon was like, yo, I met your boy McMenamin. These guys are like, there's a love affair between our radio station and this band. We need to go to Vegas in like September when they get back up at the Sphere.
Are they doing the Sphere again?
Yeah, they're going back to the Sphere. We got to go. We got to take the whole crew, man.
Yeah, I'm for that. I thought, and by the way, the other thing, I didn't mention this, but I am a huge Don Henley fan. Huge Don Henley fan. And so I wondered if Deacon could broker a, hey, Mace, meet Don Henley kind of
Here's
thing.
what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, hey, guys, everybody come backstage after the concert.
So cool.
So that we can party with those guys.
Now, John, would you come to Vegas to see the Eagles at Sphere with a whole big group?
In September, yes. But if you guys push it past then the Lakers start on October 3rd.
No, we got to do it in September.
Yeah, in September I could probably do it.
John, we got to make plans too, because I'm still planning on coming to Idaho to play golf.
Yeah, and the only thing that's holding that up is Morales. I would have had you guys out there this week if Morales could travel, but he can't.
He's getting like an echocardiogram, I think, on Thursday.
Yeah, he said by September he might be able to.
Okay, but wait, so John, you going back up there this week?
I'm going tomorrow.
Oh, dude.
Oh, hey, I found the date. Friday, September 5th.
Friday, September 5th.
Does that not work?
I'm still
That's
in
the
Idaho.
Friday into Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
They're playing
Oh, really?
on
I'm
that
still
Friday.
I'm still
They're playing that Friday,
but you
that
guys should
Saturday.
go. I've seen it.
They're playing that Friday and Saturday, then they're playing the following Friday and Saturday.
That's the one. That's the one I could probably do.
Yeah, we could back it up because I think Thursday, September 4th sounds like the kickoff of the NFL season.
Yeah, you're right. Is it that early this year?
I think it is.
Yeah, it's the final. It's the opening weekend in the NFL season is the Thursday after Memorial Day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because our fantasy draft is on Wednesday night. The kickoff game is Thursday night. And then Sunday's the first NFL weekend.
First Rams game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, Cappy, I'm glad you had such a glorious weekend.
Well, I really appreciate that.
I was laying on the bathroom floor.
Would you guys just do me one small favor?
I don't know. What is it?
Just
it depends.
one small favor.
Depends.
Just tell me, even if you don't mean it.
Yeah.
Just tell me that you have some regret for not joining my stable.
100. I mean,
I don't have any.
I had regret from the time I met the horse, and I absolutely met this horse
Cappy,
and fed it a carrot. I was like, Mason, I wanted in on this.
We were, even when we owned our horse, Mace got way more enjoyment out of it than I did. I could not get another bill for a horse dentist, a horse transport, a shoe guy. We got hustled.
I like some action, Cappy.
Yeah.
Some action. I totally regret it. And by the way, after the Met Mile on Saturday, I said, Juan, see what we're missing out on?
See,
it's because of you.
Fault.
It's his
Juan's
fault.
Oh, it's completely Juan's fault. He seemed like he was going to be in.
Yeah, and then he wasn't.
And then once he was out.
Once I thought he was out.
Yep,
he was in.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Hey, who are you doing the show with today, Cap?
Today, I'm
rolling solo?
I'm supposed to be doing it with George Sedano, but he had major travel problems leaving Oklahoma City. Then I was supposed to be
right. He was coming home because
there was tornado warnings and stuff, so they delayed his flight.
Yeah, there's not another
flight.
game until Wednesday, so
no,
he was.
He's not coming home.
He's going right to Indiana.
Well, then he changed his mind because what he was going to do was, had he been able to get out of there clean, was he was going to fly home this morning and then go back to Indiana Tuesday night.
Did you guys know? Did you guys catch any of the reports before the game last night that George was moving from radio to TV?
Yes, I saw the report.
Okay.
Yeah,
yeah. Lisa Salter's mom is really sick.
Oh, is that what's going on?
Yeah,
because it would have been really funny had you guys not known, and then all of a sudden he popped up on TV, and you're like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, I'd read a note beforehand about Lisa Salters and George being bumped up for the game, and
I saw George, and I was like, "That's my radio host."
There you go.
That's my host
on the NBA Finals.
That's my
exactly.
host.
That's my guy.
That's my quarterback.
George.
Well, I think. By the way, when I was talking to Juan this weekend about the horse and about getting in,
Let me guess.
What
he said?
Did he say horse or horse?
No, you think you know what I'm doing. I don't.
I do.
You don't.
Think I know.
You have no idea what I'm doing.
No, I think I do, but I don't.
No, you don't. You have
no,
no
I guess
idea.
I don't.
He was going to Pepe.
Anyway, so what's the stable once again called?
Bum, 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 bum.
You never have to miss a moment of LA's mega sports station. Get the all-new ESPN LA app.
Just search ESPN LA in your app store or Google Play.
Download, tap, and bam!